Yeah. Another episode of that Victory Talk podcast. It's going down like a fat girl on roller skates. We're going to talk about building your money, muscle, and mindset. I'm super excited. And we got a special guest. So without further ado, let's start the show. Yeah. Welcome to another episode of that Victory Talk podcast. I am your host, Big Brandon Carter, BBC, King Keto, the king of ketosis, Gymnasium Jesus, Jesus de Gimnasio para mi gente de la Washington Heights. And I'm not alone. I got a special guest we're going to introduce him later. So hold on. But we got the reoccurring characters that we have to introduce, man. We got the fucking best podcast producer in the game.
Appreciate it.
Let's go. The homie Nima. What up, man?
Let's go. Super excited. Episode 195.
195, man. You know what I'm saying? You the best producer in the game.
Thank you.
There's a lot of legendary producers in the world, right? We got Harvey Weinstein. He produced classics. P. Diddy, Grammy Award, he produces shit, and Nima. You know what I'm saying?
It's a pleasure.
You up next.
I don't want to end up in jail.
You're my third favorite producer. All right. Yo, we also got, you know what I'm saying? She don't be on camera. Because if she did, man, y'all would be gooning. Right, so we keep her off camera so y'all can stay fucking focused, man. It's a Minovia. Yes, she's manning the chats. You feel me? She over here. She's gonna be reading your super chats, kicking out the haters. You talk fucking crazy, she's gonna ban you. She's gonna ban you indefinitely. And she Latina, right? So it's in her blood to ruin men's life. That's what they do. Everybody knows that. And so she can't wait. She got an itchy trigger finger on the fucking block button. She's going to throw a block party if you come in here talking crazy. All right. So, you know what it is. Hey, we got special guests. I'm introducing in a minute. But first, Nima, we got some sponsors.
Really? Yeah. Finally.
We got some sponsors. All right. So the first sponsor is me and the homie Derek Moneyberg. Yo, we doing a free live training Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's called the 10 Commandments of Wealth. Moneyberg, my richest friend. We just posted a video, the tour of his crib. He had 2 gyms in his crib. The fucking purple Phantom, big pimping. You know what I'm saying? And all types of other fucking baller shit. And we're going to talk about, investing, stocks, real estate, and business, right? It's going to be live. I'm flying to Chicago, going to the crib, the Moneyberg compound, and we're going to do it live. You do not want to miss out on it. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You still got time to register. Stop fucking around. Nima, where's the link? Is it the first link?
It should be, yeah.
It's the first link. It's the first link.
It's the first link.
Stop fucking around. Don't fuck this up, guys. Don't miss out. All right. Listen, then, if that weren't enough, guys, we've been working on, Nima and I have been working on a product. Secretly, we haven't talked about it much, right? But we've been working on this product that we need to release to the public, and it's called Thought Repellent, right? Thought Repellent is the easy to apply spray that keeps the hose away. It's very important. So here's how it works. It was developed by Iranian scientists, the good ones, the good ones, yes. Yeah, the friendly Iranians, not the ones who be on that bullshit. Right. So it was Iranian scientists. And what they did, they put together this formula that only affects the DNA of thoughts, sluts, hoes, hoe sluts, skanks, stank hoes, skeezers, Jezebels, scallywags, Puerto Rican, and bitches with purple hair. All right. So what happens is regular women, they'll smell this shit and be like, damn, you smell amazing. What is that scent? What's that aroma exuding from your body? And you'll be like, baby, that's not repelling, right? But if like one of these nasty hoes try to get next to you, she might go into like an epileptic seizure. She might start foaming at the mouth or something, right? And this is good. You can spray it on yourself before you go out, right? That's what I do. I bathe in this shit before I walk the streets of Miami. I can't go on Biscayne Boulevard without this shit. It'd be goddamn riot. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can spray it around your home too, like a little force field that's impenetrable by hot dots. You know, I remember once we forgot to spray it around the crib, and it looked like the end scene of I Am Legend when all the vampires and shit was trying to come in the crib. And you know, it was bitches with tattoos on their neck. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want that to happen to you. Thought repellent, and this is very important because you see what happened to Shannon Sharp. You see what happened? He was about to get $100 million deal. Next thing you know, some hoe said he did some shit. You know what I'm saying? We covered it last week. We ain't got to get to. You don't want that to happen to you, right? So thought repellent. All your super chats, all of them, go towards development of thought repellent, because you know I could have went on Shark Tank. You know what I'm saying? I could have went to some venture capitalists, but then I would have had to answer to them. I only want to answer to y'all, the victinators. That's why we crowdfunding it by y'all. All right. We wanted to have it out by spring break, but y'all didn't do enough super chats. So it's your fault. Right. So the goal is to have it out by summer, because that's the breeding season for thoughts. Everybody knows that. Now, the FDA says, oh, we got to talk about the side effects. So side effects include, but are not limited to, erectile explosions, Brazilian wax jiu-jitsu, off-white privilege, minor lung explosions, involuntary Wakandan accent. We have to keep the hoes away. Infinity kidney stones, Gaza Strip Club. It's the bomb. It's a bomb. All right. NRA memberships, post-nut charity, racism flavored teardrops, saber-tooth semen, LASIK eye burglary, Kentucky Fried Chicken pox, no slave November. It's only 1 month. If it was like more than 1 month, then I'd be like, whoa, I don't know if I can do it. But 1 month is fine. All right. Violent wet dreams and negative affirmations. All right. We're going to have this out by summer if we get enough super chats, guys. It's all small prices to pay to keep the thoughts away. All right. All right. Guys, time to get in the show. Man, we got special guests today. All right, we got a special guest today. These guys came on the scene over the last few years, you know, going crazy in the trading and investment community. Right, we're gonna talk about. He's one of the best traders I know. Right, he makes tons of money. We're gonna ask him all the questions, and you guys can ask him questions too with super chats. Broke ass, and then. And he's one of the best traders I've ever met. He's super balling, super cool. My man, Jesse Casper. I don't know. Jesse or Casper.
Yeah, whichever one.
What's good, man?
Man, what's good, bro?
What's going on, bro?
Having me, man.
Chilling, man.
Yeah,
The YouTube is blowing up, man.
Yeah, man, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. It kind of happened random, like I was telling you, man.
Yeah.
It's funny to like reflecting back. I never would have thought I would be a YouTuber.
Yeah, you got like a 250,000 subscribers now.
Yeah, it's like 230, I think, something like that.
Yeah,
on the way.
Not bad.
250,000. It's 250,000 soon.
It's lit, man. It's lit. All right, so listen, tell me about how'd you get into trading?
Yeah, man. So effectively, I got in just through crypto. So I got in, a bunch of my friends, well, really one group of my friends told me, you know, like you got to get into crypto. This is like 2016.
Right? Okay. Oh shit.
Yeah, back then. This dude's like racked up now.
That's when Ty Lopez was pumping that shit hard. Back in Ty Lopez and BitConnect. Literally BitConnect days.
Yeah, that's hilarious, you know. But yeah, most people don't even.
I know.
Remember that?
I'm old school.
Most people are just in from COVID, but I originally got in 2016. I put in like was like 20 something thousand, like low 20,000, turned out 380,000. Right.
Oh shit.
So then I'm like, I'm the shit. I'm a trader.
Yeah.
I got this shit.
Yeah.
Lost all of it.
Oh,
not like at once, but it was like a slow death.
You lost 300 over
380, and then some of my own money.
Lost it doing what?
Just trying to trade.
Oh,
because I made it just buying and holding, right? Crypto.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really not trading. Like a lot of people, when they think trading, they think investing.
Yeah.
And big difference.
There's two different things.
Way different. Yeah. So like I thought I was a trader, but I was really a complete lucky investor.
Yeah,
I wasn't an investor.
You just threw some money at the shit at the right time.
Yeah. Like it's funny. I was looking back at some of my memories. And like the old pictures, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like I had a notebook, and I was like writing out what crypto was and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Back in Google Chrome even looked different. Yeah. And I remember I was thinking, like I was starting to tell everybody, like, yeah, I'm a trader.
How much money did you put in?
20. It was like 20 something thousand.
20 grand.
It was like 20 and some change.
Okay.
It was like 20,000 deposit, and then I had like a couple extra thousand that I'd got, because the way I got into it is I got some crypto for something. And I was like, I might as well buy some. This is back when you had to buy on local Bitcoin. You ever know what that was?
I wasn't buying Bitcoin back in then. The first time I bought Bitcoin was Coinbase. I think it was 2017.
Yeah. Coinbase was just on the scene too. But so to buy like large amounts without triggering certain warnings, and we'll get to that later. You know what I mean? But at that time,
it's all coming together.
Yeah.
I understand, because that's the preferred use case for crypto.
Right. So I bought it in that context. I was trying to stay, but local Bitcoin was essentially you went online, and it was like, imagine classified ads but for Bitcoin. Like I had to go to Atlanta and buy it from a dude.
Oh, he gave you some Bitcoin
for cash. Yeah. Sketchiest, weirdest dude I ever met, bro. He's like a super hippie dude. Like they're just probably rich as fuck now, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I would hope at least. If he's not, he's probably like hating himself.
Yeah, we'll see.
But anyways, that was how I got into it. And I thought I got all cocky, thought I knew what I was doing. Over the next like 2.5 years, lost all of it. Right.
Oh shit.
So that was what got me hooked, though, because in that time where I was losing it, I had decided I wanted to do it, and I wasn't going to give it up. Yeah. And I was addicted too. Yeah. Like back then it was like some heroic shit. Really, I was just addicted to gambling. Yeah. But it worked out. Right. Yeah. But then back, like I wasn't really like serious about it. You know what I mean? Because I was making money in other ways. Got into it in 2020 again, and actually took it serious this time. So
2020.
Like in COVID, like because I was like,
trading. You started taking trading seriously.
Okay. Yeah. So I was like, man, everybody's making this money. I didn't even get the bottom of COVID either. You know. So then I was like FOMO. I'm like, dude, how are your friends who weren't involved in this do better than you, and you done fucked up a bunch of money trying to learn this? Yeah. So I decided I was going to take it serious. I bought a Discord, like an education community, right? And whenever I was in that community, I was ahead of people because I had already went through all the psychological trauma.
What were you trading at this time? You were trading crypto?
Crypto futures, though.
Crypto. So okay. Yeah.
It's like leverage.
Yeah. No. Okay. So you were trading like
Binance.
Binance.
Back before it was banned.
All right, for sure.
Well, it was banned, but you could easily use it with a VPN.
Yeah. And okay.
Now you can even get I have like a Palau ID. Like you can become a resident of like another.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like $1,000 to become a resident.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, but you could trade. You still trade them. But anyways, I digress. That was where I started like actually trying to trade like serious, and I started learning because before then I didn't even really know what risk management was, anything like that. But I got into it serious. I'd already went through a lot of the issues, so I started doing good. Like I was way ahead of all these new people that were. Like,
how long did it take you to get good?
I mean, if you want to be technical, 5 years.
Okay. Yeah.
But really, like 1 year being serious.
1 year.
Because like 2016 to 2020, it was mainly 2016 to like 2018. I was off and on just being like stupid, right? Like that was where I was trying to trade, but I was trading with no leverage. So I was trying to trade like the bear market. I thought it was like going to keep going up. So I'd try to buy these altcoins, right? Yeah. And even in that time, like there was like the ICO boom of like 2017 where like kind of like how meme coins are now, but less crazy. So I would hit enough to like keep me afloat. Right. Then like chop it away. Got it. Hit enough to keep me afloat, chop it away. And then finally like just blew it all. Right. And then I was putting in my own money too at the time. So, and then in 2021, like whenever I started taking it serious in 2020, by 2021, I was doing really good. Right? Okay. But I had got over like I was desensitized to losing money. Yeah. I had committed myself like, okay, now that you actually know, and I was surrounded, I think another big part of it is I was surrounded with people who were actually making a lot of money. Yeah. So I thought it was real now. Yeah. I feel like you need that. Oh, absolutely. To be good. Like I don't talk about it a lot just because, I feel like people will think it's cap because I'm good at so many things. Right. I know how that sounds. I just don't know how to always say it. But like I've been trading since trading futures since about 2020.
because there was during COVID, I was in Manhattan and it was locked down.
Yeah.
Right. So there was nothing to do. I was like, all right, let me learn how to trade. I spent a lot of time trading. If you followed me like on Instagram, you would see I would be posting it, And I did pretty well my first year. I'm like one of the few people I know who was profitable the first year. Not like crazy profitable, but profitable.
But still, I mean, most people just lose. But it's again, like you were winning at other points in life.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Because the thing is, bro, when it comes down to it, there's winners and there's losers. Like just being honest. And like everybody at one point, I feel like was a loser. I was a loser at one point. And like I would have probably lost at most things. And if I got lucky enough to win in the short term, I would have lost in the long term.
Yeah.
But once you get to the point where you're used to winning and you just have that mentality, you understand, okay, I'm not going to be good at first. There's going to be risk. I might lose money. I don't really care. You detach yourself from all the importance. Right?
Yeah.
But when you're coming from zero, it's like, this is my ticket.
Yeah. And it's too much pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like anything. Once you put a level of importance on something, like if you assign something like this has to work, when does it ever work?
Yeah.
Never. It's like if you look at a girl and like, oh my God, she's out of my league.
Right.
You're going to sound stupid as hell trying to talk to her.
That's a fact.
But you know what I mean? So it's all this, it's importance. Like that's like a big thing I always talk about and think about is like the less you can give a shit about something and like not so much from like a sociopath, like you don't care about anything, but from the sense of like, I understand to win, I have to remove that emotion.
Yeah.
When you have that kind of intention with anything, that's really whenever you get good at winning. You know what I mean? So I think that's probably the big thing with trading. Like a lot of people, I like Jeremy or you or people I know. And I tell people in my community this that are like struggling. I'm like, look, there are people that I know that came into this, looked around, said, okay, this is how this works. Okay. And within a year made a bunch of money. Yeah. So it's possible, but it's because of the way they think.
And everybody I know who's trading, who made money trading was making money doing something else.
Yeah.
Right. So it wasn't like betting the farm on this, right? Because it's too emotional. Well, I want to get into like trading psychology and stuff. But before we do that, what exactly do you trade now? Just futures, right?
Yeah, NASDAQ.
I
trade crypto sometimes, but mainly I wouldn't call it
just
trading
NQ.
really. Yeah, and NQ is all I trade.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, ES and stuff is like
I used to trade. My first year I traded ES. I just didn't know, I was just trying to figure it out, And I was trading on I didn't know shit, man. I was trading on Thinkorswim. Right back when it was TD Ameritrade, and I didn't know there was better options or different.
Man, I know
options.
some big traders that trade on TD. Like my boy Umar. You know who Umar?
Yeah, in New York, right?
Yeah.
No, I know that.
He trades on TD.
Yeah, he does.
That dude kills it, bro.
Yeah,
he's a beast.
Why do you think he does TD instead of Ninja Trade?
He trades options though.
That's right. He trades only.
But I mean, it's I think it's just his.
That's right. He trades. Why futures? Can you explain to people who don't know? What are futures? How they different from stocks, options, and all that shit?
So like there's like a boring explanation and then the one that actually matters, right?
Yeah.
The one that actually matters is essentially the main difference is in futures, you have a very clear amount of profit or loss you're going to take if the market moves. So if the market moves 1 point or $1 on NASDAQ, for every full contract you have, every mini, your P&L is $20.
Yeah.
With options, there's the Greeks.
Yeah.
There's time decay. There's different mechanics to pricing an option.
Data, delta, all that other shit. Right. You not only got to be right, you got to be right at the right time.
Yeah. Yeah. And options, the thing I'll say about options though, man, like all the people I talk to that are in the institutional world, like they're trading like big money, not like prop from like, we're talking, 8-9 figure accounts, right? None of them trade futures. They all trade options or they'll use futures to hedge.
Yeah.
But side note, the difference really, futures, you can be more calculated. It's better for small accounts for sure. Like there's no PDT rule. So like,
that's true.
Yeah. Like with options, you gotta have 25K to really day trade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then with futures, it's just like whatever. Like, I mean, I think Tradeovate's like minimum $1,000 per NASDAQ.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because you'd blow your ass to pieces trying to trade NASDAQ with $1,000 or $2,000.
Webull just added futures.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. And I think you only need like $500.
Yes, that's crazy.
Yes.
It's gonna get gone.
Yeah,
he's been calling support like, man, I think something's wrong with my account.
I think it's the minis, but still, the micros. Yeah. And Robinhood added futures recently too. So yeah, people are learning more. So it's really why not just buy QQQ? Like explain to them why not just buy QQQ instead of futures?
I would say like, you could make arguments on both sides. Like the reason I trade futures is because I like being in and out. And it's like, again, it's calculated risk management, right? Yeah. And it's just like less. So like, you're going to be able to get better risk to reward. So like, for example, later, I'll show you this trade we took today. He was with me this morning. It was crazy, bro. We took it and it was like a 5-to-1 return. Options is hard to get that unless you're doing 0 days.
Yeah.
But the thing with options is though, you can model your risk a lot more efficiently. So like there's pros and cons to both. I'd say for most people looking to get into trading, it's better for futures.
Yeah, it's way less complicated than options.
Exactly. It's like simpler, takes less money to make a lot of money.
For like, especially for day trading. You know, when I do options, I like to sell options. We talk about it here too. Like for my like investing, I'll sell cash secure puts to get into a position and then sell cover calls against my position.
Oh, so you already know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know you traded. Okay, yeah. See, like I'm trying to get into like really like trading options, but more so from like an investment standpoint.
Yeah,
so like,
I sell options.
Always sell. Yeah. So like one of my I don't know if he's watching. His name's Emery. I talked to him. He's like a silent beast at trading. He's not big on socials, but basically he was talking about some stuff where it's like essentially like let's say if you're bearish on the market, instead of you would still sell puts, but you'd sell them where they're like unreasonable, like they're very very unlikely to where you're not going to collect the premium, but then also sell futures contracts to hedge it. Oh, but like do it with like crazy size, and they'll calculate like what's the probability. Like they'll use the VIX, and then they'll determine like what their expiry, like how far out they're going to buy them. So like recently they've been buying them just like 2 weeks out. Yeah, but then or not buying them, sorry, selling the ones that are 2 weeks out, and making crazy shit, bro. Oh, that's crazy, but it's complicated. But it's complicated. I like learning that kind of. Like I'm like if you can master that, it's another way. That's a fact. Another income, Yep. Yeah, man. All
right, cool. So why'd you pick why NQ instead of ES or even Bitcoin futures or Russell futures or gold or some shit?
More volatile, and also like the strategy I use is like a time-based strategy. So essentially, like I'll just mark out the range between midnight and 6 a.m. And 6 p.m. the previous night, midnight. The high and low of each one of those is the only levels I trade. Works the best on NQ. It works on ES too, right? Yeah. But it works very well on NQ. It's the high of the Asia session and the London session, like high and low, and the previous day's high and low.
Can you show us?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I got to get on the Wi-Fi though.
Oh, you got to get on the Wi-Fi. Yeah. All right. The Wi. I'm gonna write the Wi-Fi password for you. I should have told you.
No, I should have asked. I was on my chart. Oh. Wait, am I?
That's not. Oh, that's the name, and this the password.
Okay. I was like, okay.
I can't say it right now. Just give us a second, guys. Just give us a moment.
Should be good. Let's see.
You in there?
I think so. It's loading. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
You good? Yeah, we're good. Can you see on the screen and everything?
Yeah. Cool. All right. Cool. Nice.
Yeah. So this is actually the trade I took this morning. You can see right here the executions. But essentially, what you do is so. Like
what time frame is this chart?
This is the 5 minute.
Okay, you trade on the 5 minute.
1 minute.
But you trade on the 1 minute.
Yeah.
But you chart on the 5 minute.
I'm just mainly for me. Like it's funny. Half the time I'm charting, I'm just trying to show people. Like I just mark. Only thing I'll mark is these levels. Because really, you can mark them on anything. Like theoretically, you could trade it on one time frame. Okay. Right. You know what I mean? So like it's just again like you put this vertical line right here. This over a little bit. So at 1800 or 6 p.m. the night before. Right?
Okay, so the low of the pre-market low.
Yeah, there's two sections of pre-market. Okay. So like for example, see right here, this would be considered Asia session. Okay. So 6 p.m. to midnight.
Okay, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to midnight.
Yeah. Okay, and then mark the high and the low. Now in this example, you see the low had already gotten taken out, so we're not going to pay attention to that. Now you can also mark out the London high and low. So the London high is midnight to 6 a.m. Okay. Or the low is, same thing. Got it. Now, what I do is I just watch I watch for reactions at these levels during the market session. After
this is trading view you're using?
Trading. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like, for example, right here, like this morning, let me go to the 1 minute. This morning, if we look like right here, like once the market opened, like here was right there, market open on this candle. Yeah. So once these levels, the way I look at it is like, you get the whole idea of like liquidity and like you've seen all that shit, right?
I've seen it, but I would like you to explain it for these guys.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I forget I'm not like everybody. I'm used to talking to everybody who's trading.
Yeah.
But okay, so essentially,
it's a new audience, man. It's a different audience.
Yeah. The essentially the idea is like, let's say if you're a large market participant, right? We all agree that markets are manipulated. So let's say if whoever's manipulating the markets, like they don't have the benefit we do of being able to buy and sell whenever they want. Right. So let's say if you want to go enter 2,000 contracts in NASDAQ, there's got to be 2,000 contracts for sale. which there very rarely is going to be that top of, that type of liquidity on the book, right? So what they have to do is they have to create it.
Oh.
So like what liquidity is just where something's being bought or sold.
Okay.
So like where's a lot of liquidity going to be? People's stop loss.
Got it. Right.
So like the idea is anybody who was short from the Asia session, a lot of algorithms, a lot of people, the way they do their strategies, they're going to put their stop at that high.
Show me exactly what.
Yeah. So like, for example, the if they got short anywhere in here, they're likely going to have their stop at the high of that.
Okay, got it. That makes sense. That makes sense.
There's a lot of people that won't, but that's the idea.
Yeah. No.
It's just a time-based pool. And like, I'm telling you, go test these levels.
Yeah.
And just mess with it. You'd be like mind blown. Mind blown how often it works. But essentially I'll watch, like, once we hit one of those, ideally, like, let's just say if the market was bearish, what would you want to see what's called the market makers, for the lack of a better term, the market manipulators? What would you want to see them do if the market's bearish? And they have the opportunity.
You want to see them selling.
Sell.
Yeah.
So if we go to an area where we establish they got an opportunity to sell, yet you don't see them selling, where's market likely to? That tells me, okay, with this level, they're not using this level.
Okay, let me see. Go back. Let me see.
Yeah. So like,
so it's like, just walk me through it. So you had this one. You marked the high, and you feel like that's where people's who went short, that's where their stop loss is.
Correct. And it's just because it's the high that was the highest high between 6 p.m. and midnight.
Right.
So it's just the same thing every day. It's
okay.
Real mechanical. Like you don't have to pick different. It's always the high or the low of those two time ranges.
Got it.
Once the market hits that, then I'll watch for like a confirmation. So I'll trade a reversal too if it happens. But a lot of these traders, they get stuck in always trying to trade reversals, man.
So you went long here because it went to that, because at the open, it touched that and then went up.
Yeah. So essentially, like, there's a couple things that I use as like an entry pattern. So you know what a fair value gap is?
I don't know it as well as
you've heard it.
I've heard it. I don't know it as well enough to talk to you about it.
Yeah. No, so it's just all it is a 3-candle pattern. So you've got 1, 2, 3 candles. And the middle candle is expansive, so there's a gap between the wicks. Does
it matter what time? So it's 3 candles no matter what time frame you use?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
All this stuff, the way I look at it is like candles are just a different representation of a time range.
Okay.
So it always works on everything. But like the lower you go, the less data there is.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. You know what I mean?
Because I trade off the 15-minute candle.
And that's still fine. I mean, I took a trade. My biggest trade this month was on the 15-minute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I trade on those two. Mostly I trade on the 1 minute.
Yeah.
But like, for example, if I'm looking at like on Sunday night, I was looking at the 15-minute. I was like, we're absolutely going to sell off. Right.
Yeah.
So I sold 2 contracts, swung them over into all that dip on Monday, all the way down. So I'll trade on the 15-minute too.
Okay.
But essentially the way I like judge whether or not the market's going to reverse.
That's the opening candle that you highlighted.
No, I just picked a random one to show fair value gaps.
Okay.
This is just for like the pattern.
Okay.
This is like random price action. But like, let's just imagine the level was right here and the price hit it during the market open.
Yeah.
What I would look at for a reversal. Oh man. Wait. Hold on. Let me just do this. Sometimes TradingView likes to fuck around. I was doing this the other day. We'll make it work eventually.
You got this, man. I believe in you.
Was it on the 5-minute? I had drawn it somewhere. Okay, here, I'll do it like this. Let's say, so we got a fair value gap right here, okay? Now notice how this fair value gap got inverted. And when I mean inverted, the other candle closed through it. Because ideally what you want to see is like this kind of action. It taps it and goes. You don't get a candle close.
You say tap it goes, explain it.
Yeah, like this right here. So like, for example, so this one.
That's a fair value gap.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So we tapped it and then went.
Got it.
That shows us, okay, the market's bullish here. The level is being respected. However, like, let's just say if you're trading during the session, you see this happen at one of your levels, I would have sold because that shows, okay, we're bearish. Right. And that's just one of the patterns so you can look for. Now, the other one you look for is like candle engulfings. However, like if we look at this over here, what happened this morning? Let me go over. I'm so much slower without a mouse on these things too. It's funny. Like,
I'll always have a mouse.
Yeah.
Which mouse you use? This one?
The same one? Yeah,
man. I got like 5 of these.
Yeah,
man.
they're the best, bro. They're the best. I was talking to my boy the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, I use the LG or G Tech." I was like, "Man,
you doing, man?
Yeah, I know.
You need this one so you can scroll sideways."
Yep, exactly, man. And it just the way it feels and it's perfect, bro.
Yeah. You know, yo, man, on some. You want to? I got hotkeys set up on these buttons. Yeah. So I got buy market, sell market here.
Oh, that's actually fire,
bro.
That's fire. I haven't done that, to be honest.
With Ninja Trader.
Ninja
So
Trader, yeah.
So I got and I also got the Stream Deck on my trading computer. I'll show you. And I got like buy market, sell market, take profit, close.
That's like the magic keys.
Yeah, man. So I'm hitting that shit like it's a joystick, but I can do it on my right here too.
Yeah. No,
anyway, go ahead.
That's fire. No, yeah, but
y'all need to fuck with the Logitech mouse. Logitech, y'all owe me money for that. I'm remember this shit.
Man,
right.
no, but yeah, I mean, really, all it is in this, like I look at it like this, like so the market, the way we're reacting to highs and lows tells you really everything. So, like for example, I don't really pay attention to what happens till after we hit this, after the session. So anything to the left.
So you don't trade pre-market, nothing. No, it's just okay.
No.
Cool.
I used to, and I looked at a bunch of my data, and it was just like inconclusive to almost unprofitable.
Really?
Yeah, because you don't if you're doing good, and then you throw in because it wasn't many trades.
Yeah.
But like I always tell people, really, man, like do you journal and look at your shit? Probably not. Nah, I swear, just use like TradeZella, like Umar's thing. Use TradeZella, just it automates it, and just the only thing I always challenge people to use the report that tells you what your most profitable time of the day is.
Okay.
Because like with trading, if you eliminate, like imagine if you had like a team and you had the close rate of 4 or 5 guys, let's say is 30%.
Yeah.
And then you got one dude who's at 10%.
Yeah.
What happens when you remove that?
Yeah.
That's like the same thing when you remove your least profitable 15 minutes. You know what I mean? So that's the way I always look at data. But anyways, I figured out the pre-market wasn't for me. Now, if we look at this right here, this told me like, the way I look at the market, once we hit a key level is how do we react to highs and lows? Do we like push through this low? No, it hits it and just pops right back up.
Okay. We
get engulfing. So what happens when we hit this low or this high, I should say, I'm sorry. We engulf through it, right? So as soon as we engulf through that and close, I longed right there. And I held that long.
That was like, and this is like first minute.
Yeah. Like first it was, what time is this? 9.
And that was this morning.
Yeah, 9:40. Yeah, it's gonna be a sick. We did the day in the life vlog. It was so sick, bro. Because trading, like most people don't realize this. Like a lot of the trading gurus, they'll be like, "You win every time. We never lose." Like, bro, you really don't. You could be the best trader in the world. You're gonna lose. Yeah, absolutely. Like you have losing days. So it's funny. Like anytime you do a day in the life as a trader, you're like, man, I hope today.
Yeah, you hope today, right? Yeah.
Like I did this one last time. It was hilarious. I was telling him. So I did this day in the life. We went down to Brickell to do it at a coffee shop. First mistake. Right there. We get there, it's full. So we're outside. There's like fucking jackhammers going, like they're doing construction. I go out, sit down, and I like trade and like take a loss. And I was like, man, this is the worst fucking day in the life ever, man. I was like, throw this shit in the trash. Yeah. But today was a good. We took this thing and fucking killed it. And I did it live too. I was streaming with the group. Okay. So they killed it too. But yeah, we caught it, ran it for like 160 points.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But that's really the key.
You just went like when do you have a take profit or like
not? So like the way I do it, like, okay, so the next time-based level. So like I'll do the previous day's high, previous day's low. Like those are some of the levels. Then the Asia session high and low. So if it hits one and I get a confirmation it's going to continue, I look for the next one.
Oh, and that's where you
simple.
That's where you put your take profit.
Yeah, but I don't usually let usually my stop loss is like my take profit.
Got it. You just keep moving the stop up.
Yeah, exactly. So like for example, in this right here, I also use something like, have you heard of footprint charts?
No.
I use these a little bit. Now this is where it gets like hieroglyphics. A lot of people kind of
oh yeah, no, I've seen this. My boy Greg had some shit like this up.
Yeah,
I won't know what the fuck he's talking about when he brings this up.
I won't even
because we trade together every morning. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah. Oh, I met him at Jeremy. Yeah. I won't even get into all this, but essentially, there's ways you can use this to kind of trail. But this stuff I always tell people it looks intimidating because like when I first, it's like, oh yeah, there's so many fucking numbers in that. Like it's not beginner friendly, but it's really not that complicated. Yeah. Like essentially all it is like determining what side of traders are getting trapped. So you know how like
how does it?
Yeah. So like you know how like okay the GME like the GameStop short squeeze. You remember that happened? Like the GameStop craze. The way that actually worked was Wall Street was so short on GameStop that whenever they basically were wrong, they have to exit those positions at a loss, which is equivalent essentially to a buy. Yeah. Right. So like if you can identify what side of traders is trapped, then you can identify who's offside. So like, for example, if I know that there's a ton, like here, I'll just show you this morning. Let's put it to the test. people tell me in the chat if this makes any sense, because I always am interesting to see if I explain it well. Let me find 9. Okay, so this morning, right? If you notice right here, like this, what this is it's telling you how many, like the delta.
Mm-hmm.
There's delta and volume. So delta is just the difference, like where there are more sells or more buys.
Yeah,
like orders,
mm-hmm.
right? So if in this candle right here, we can identify that there was a lot of sells right here with the open, and you got to pair this with that level. Remember, we're hitting into that level. That's the key thing. Okay, so we hit into that level, and a bunch of sells came into the market right here. Notice how also too, like
okay,
at one time there was 439 more sells than buys, but by the end of the candle, there was 1,000 more buys than sells.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is that people tried to aggressively sell off at that level, but then buyers absorbed it.
Mm-hmm.
So buyers stepped in and like bought a shitload. They said everything's for sale. We want it all and more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then it's like, it's just basic supply and demand when you really think about it. And then the same thing happened in this next candle right here. So that's like absorption. So like you're going to a level where the market should sell off. People try to sell, but somebody or a group of people is like, we're going up. Yeah. And so when you can identify that, then what happens? All those people that sold, guess what they got to do?
They got to liquidate their position.
And that's a buy.
Yeah.
So it's like rocket fuel.
Yeah.
So if you can identify that, you know, that's how you can kind of really catch momentum and catch really big moves, man.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the way, let me ask you a question. What's the difference when you talk about, people talk about liquidity and the way you market it? You're really just marketing. It's almost like you're marketing support and resistance.
It is support and resistance.
It's just
and a lot of the people that trade the smart money type stuff, they'll always be like, you know, they trade like the ICT, like which what I trade.
Yeah.
But it has such a dumbass like connotation around it because people like act like support and resistance is dumb. And I'm like, bro, we're just finding support and resistance our own way.
Yeah.
Like it's like a whole cult. Like in the trading world, man, there's like little sub niches of trading. But yeah, everything is support and resistance. Think about it.
Yeah.
Like every strategy is just a different way of finding support.
Support and resistance, right?
That's all it is.
Yeah.
And if you could think of it like that, like support and resistance, confirmations of whether it's going to work or not. Like once a level hits, how do you find your levels? Once it hits, how do you define if it's going to work? That's trading. But people be going on these crazy rabbit holes, like finding some like crazy, like, you know, story behind everything. Like there's like, you know, that's why people overthink things, man.
Yeah.
It's simpler than it.
It's, you know, for me, I tried a bunch of different strategies and I have just a super simple strategy. And to the point where it would probably feel like it was too simple. Like, you know, I showed you my like profits this morning. I texted you.
Yeah.
But that's kind of normal. Like, I don't know. I win more than I lose. Yeah, man. But it's like, I don't really talk about it because it seems so simple. It's almost.
Man, people that are traders are like, tell me, please, tell me that I want to know this shit.
I can show you, but people are going to make fun of me. Like, you know,
man, I think if anybody says, man, honestly, I think if anybody makes one simple, they just dumb as hell.
I'll show you what I do. You critique it. Tell me what I can do better. I'll bring up Transpider. You tell me what I could do, how I can improve upon this. But it's something that it's like a mashup of shit that I learned over the. First of all, look at the stupid ass chart. Hold on, let me.
I can't even see it. Really.
Yeah, I know. Oh, you can't see it. That's right. No. Oh, you can share this. You can share my screen. I can see. Oh, but you can share my screen though. Yeah. Okay. All right. So sometimes I use Transpider, but.
Yeah, Transpider's cool.
So let me get rid of all this shit. Boom.
You got the volume profiles too.
Yeah, I like that.
Volume profiles are huge, man.
Yeah.
So like that's a kind of similar, like what I just showed you, the footprints pairs a lot with the volume profile.
So the trades I took today. So this is like this was last night, right? This was it gapped up. And what I do is I have these moving averages up. Let me move up.
The EMA is like what 9, 21, 50.
I'll show you exactly one. I don't have it memorized, which was like but yeah, boom, 11, 50 SMA, just all these moving averages, right? You can see them all, right? And I trade off the 15-minute chart. And what I do is, man, I just look. It's gonna sound too simple. If it's over the 200, I'm looking for longs.
I mean, yeah.
If it's under the 200, I'm looking for shorts. And it's really just bounces off the moving averages. So for example, it broke out here and then it came back down. This is where I went long this morning. Boom. And then I had like a take profit like around here. Then I did the same thing again when it came back here. Boom. And then I was done for the day. And that's how I trade.
Man, that's good though, bro.
I go for rejection off moving averages.
But
on the 15-minute chart.
You see, it's like at the end of the day, man, it's like anything, right?
Yeah.
If there's something that's simple that works, it should be done that way.
Yeah.
Like even
it's almost so simple that I feel like it seems rudimentary, like like it's almost stupid.
But that's how people make money though.
Yeah.
Like, especially when you're new, half the battle is just sticking to the strategy. But most people have a strategy that's too complicated. They can't stick to it. So they never really get good at trading.
I read this book. I remember my first year trading. I read this book called Trading in the Zone.
The Zone, Mark Douglas. Yeah.
And that's like, it's one of my favorite books. Like it's that everything he says in there can be applied to like life in general.
Probabilities.
Yeah, just probably. Yeah. And he said, man, the last chapter he said, if you just get a strategy, any edge you think you have, and just work that edge. The only time I ever lose, I mean, it's something crazy happens, right? Or I don't follow my rules because I have other rules that I don't want to get into. There's a few other rules I have. It's a little more complicated than what I said, but that's basically what it is.
Right. That's
right. And I just follow my rules, and it's really about being disciplined and waiting for it to set up.
Yeah, there's a joke. It's like there's a meme. It's like something like a good trade, and then there's like where you fuck everything up.
Yeah.
Because it's like that's the thing. It's not hard to find good trades. Like I always tell people that they're like always trying to learn how to find more trades. I'm like, if you got a bucket with holes in it, you need more water. Not really. You know what I mean? Most people don't like even look at the right problem. Half the time it's just not fucking up in between.
Yeah.
It's hard, man. It's hard. Like it's gambling. Because at the end of the day, too, another thing people don't ever want to admit, like in the trading space, they'll be like, yeah, like that's gambling. I'm like, my guy, we are all gambling.
It's legit gambling.
It is probabilistic outcomes that we're trying to make money on.
Yeah. The way I always looked at it, and you're the expert, right? That's why I brought you on. I'm for sure not a trading expert, nor do I claim to be, right? But I always looked at it like you're gambling, and you only need to be right if you're risking the right amount, same every time. You only need to be right 50%, 51% of the time to be profitable.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it could be more than that depending on your risk to reward, right? Yeah. But that's when I realized that, I was like, okay, all I gotta do is follow my rules. And it's just, I'm a stickler for following my rules. Even if I see something, I'm like, man, I want to take it. I'm like, nah, it's against my rules. Or I'll be on with Greg, who's like a really good trader, right? Mm-hmm. And he said he's about to go long or short or something. And I'll be like, it's against my rules. I'd rather lose the trade and follow my rules than break my rules and win, because you reward yourself for breaking your rules, right? So what are you going to do? You train yourself to break the rules. I think that's where people fuck up, but that's like, I don't know.
No, it's real. And it goes back to just winning and losing, man. Mm-hmm. Like in anything, you know what I mean? So that's why people that like, a lot of times people get into trading whenever they haven't really won big at a lot of things.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you're in a business where 90% of people fail. What makes you think you're going to be the 110% if you can't do basic life shit?
Yeah.
Like if you can't, like people be like, I can't even wake up at the same time every day. And they're like, oh my God, I'm trying so hard at trading. I can't believe I lost money.
Yeah. If you have no discipline, you got to have discipline to do this shit, right? Yeah, like you let me know, like how long do you trade per day?
1 hour.
1 hour.
Nah, I mean 1 hour and a half.
1 hour and a half.
1 hour.
How many trades you take usually?
Max 3, sometimes 4. The only time I take 4 is if it's like, let's say I took one, it moves a little bit. I move stuff to break even, took me out. I might like scale back in.
Yeah.
But usually like 1 to 2. Like today was 1 and done.
So what do you do
the rest of
when you're waiting? No. When you're waiting for your setup.
Usually I'm on stream. So I'm just talking.
You're talking.
I usually feel like I'm talking a bunch of people off a ledge. Because I know subconsciously all the people that I'm talking to are watching, waiting on me to make action. And then they're also people that they almost need to have something going on.
Yeah.
So they don't fuck up.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, right here, look, right here. This is where a couple years ago I would have done this and I would have made this mistake and I would have done it because of this. And I know a lot of you are sitting here thinking, oh my God, this guy's reading my mind. And it's like, yeah, because I used to do that. So don't do that.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
And you're giving them something they occupy their mind instead of being, because if you sometimes when have you experienced this? I feel like sometimes you'll be trading and you'll be bored and you'll start looking for the setup that ain't there.
Yeah.
Is that like
absolutely.
a thing?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like, or like if you've like the worst thing for me, the hardest thing is like if like let's say if you spend like an hour and there's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's not like you're gonna go do some dumb shit, but for me, I start thinking of all the other shit I could have done. I'm like, man, I got shit to do. But that's just part of the game.
Yeah.
You know, it's part of the game.
What I do is I play guitar.
Really?
Yeah, well, because I'm waiting for the set. I'm waiting for the setup.
That's a good way to do it. It's keeping your mind focused.
I'm doing something so I don't get so bored.
Right.
And
it's something that's
helped me a lot.
Very demanding.
Yeah.
Too. See, me, it helps too, because like I'm on stream and I'm talking. It's almost like I'm doing a solo podcast or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's that definitely helps a lot. And plus you got a bunch of people watching you.
Yeah.
So you gotta, I mean, it's funny. It used to fuck with me bad. When I first started doing that, just like nervous, you know, this is like years ago. Like when I first, like whenever I came up on YouTube, it was like I was telling you, it was on accident.
Yeah.
So like I got put in that group, I did good. And they were like, you know, we want you to stream. Discord could only have 50 people on a stream.
Oh, okay.
So as they grew, I went on YouTube to stream just to host the streams. But when that happened, people started showing up and it was 50 people. Then it was 100 people. Then it was 200 people. And then, like at that point, I was still
200
like
people
nervous.
on the stream, so you were like nervous.
Yeah, I'm like
because now you got to perform.
Well, because everybody's like fucking piece of shit, you know, when you
yeah,
lose.
people,
You know, you know what I mean, which I didn't really
especially
care.
if they went with you.
Yeah, then they're all like, then you win, they're like, oh my god, you're the GOAT. Yeah. But you know, I mean, it's just now I don't even care. But like, yeah, like back then I did though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, when I was still coming up, because at that point I was still like, I had made money trading, but I wasn't like as confident. Like it was still, I was in that phase, like that one, like. Damn, did I really crack this shit?
Yeah.
Like, am I still getting like this shit? You know what I mean? But
yeah, that's probably where I'm at. Like, I've been making money.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't have your confidence in it. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what you do.
Yeah.
It's something I do in the morning. And then I don't think about it for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But you live this shit because you got to make videos about it. You teach it. You have courses, all that other shit. I don't live this shit. I just trade in the morning.
I think that's good though, too, man. I think like whenever you're learning, like it's almost better not to like this is kind of a contrarian take. Like a lot of people say you got to like lock all the way in and like, I think for a period with anything, you need to immerse yourself.
Yeah.
But
hold on. One thing, when I got back into trading, maybe like a year and a half ago, first thing I did, I was paper trading. I tracked my hours and I was like, I logged 200 hours of paper trade. I would download data, like historical data on Ninja Trader.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I developed my strategy and my rules. But it took I had to lock in like 200 hours. It was like a few hours a day. I'd be running fucking simulated trades.
Yeah. And there's like a phase for that.
You know
what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
For sure. Like that's required. But like once you get to the point where you're at, I think that's like the best point because now it's like that importance thing I was talking about.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of just like, it's just something I do in the mornings. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Don't matter if I win, don't matter if I lose. And then it's like, now you're in flow.
Yeah. I try to make, it's funny you say important because it's something it's one reason I don't talk about it or even like I'll come out my office. My girl, like she's in the kitchen doing some shit. And I won't even tell her that I made a bunch of money. Right. Cause I don't want it to be important to me.
Yeah. It's like you don't want to make it into an event.
I don't want to make it a fucking thing. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know if it's superstition, but it sounds like you're saying that's
absolutely
something you need to do. It's not just my crazy superstition.
Sometimes I'll say shit, but very rare. Like if it's like really good, I'll be like, hey, I'm in a great mood today, you know? But most of the time, like just don't talk about the ups and downs to anybody.
Yeah.
Like, I always help you with that. Like, cause people that like I'll work with, they'll be like, they're still learning. And they're like, yeah, my wife is on me about this. I'm like, why are you talking about this? Like you're stressing your wife. Like I'm like, do you take care of things?
Yeah.
Like, like what the fuck are you doing talking about that with you're trying to like put fear in and then now you got extra pressure. Exactly. You're fucked.
You bring external pressure.
Yeah.
And even if like my girl wouldn't put pressure on me about it, but it's like I don't want to get addicted to the praise from her. Or you know what I'm saying? Like I want it to be nothing.
Yeah, man.
I just made a bunch of money.
Come back
time for breakfast. Right. Put on Sports Center, watch breakfast. Eat breakfast, watch Sports Center.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And if it's a loss, instead of fucking panicking or something, I act exactly the same. Because in my brain, I never heard no one say it except for you that you wanted to decrease the importance. But that's how I think about it. Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
man. Yeah, and that's the thing. Another big thing is the way you do the losing. Like a lot of people lose, and they always want to like go on some like hero's journey to review why they lost. And like I'm like, bro, you just
probabilities,
lost.
man.
You just lost.
Sometimes you lose.
Like it's okay, you know.
Yeah,
and if you sit there and dwell on it, you ever read the book Transurfing?
Yeah,
that's where I get this whole importance thing. It's like
I was thinking that. Yeah, because I read the book too. Yeah,
it's so, but it's like, I mean, there's some crazy shit in that book.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But it's like if you take the concept of the importance, and apply it to trading, that book I read it a long time ago. I actually reread it recently. It's one of those books that hits way different.
Yeah, I went through the audio book this year.
Yeah. There's some crazy shit in there. You're talking about some like crazy shit, but there is some good shit. Most of it's good, I think. But if you can apply that same like way of thinking to trading, I think that it's so powerful for most people, especially like whenever you're not there yet. Yeah,
the book he's talking about is Reality Transurfing.
Yeah, by Vadim Zeland. Is it over here? It's probably in the pink.
It's like it's in the other room. Yeah, it's in my other office.
Yeah, the other library.
Dude. Yeah, the other library. But okay, let's get back to this real quick. What indicators do you use?
None. The only thing that I'll ever look at is
naked, footprint. Going raw.
Yeah. Raw dogging it.
Whoa. So just price action.
Yeah, just price action. Yeah, it's price action. And then I sometimes will look at the footprints and profiles. But the only thing I really look for in profiles is like, okay, let's say if we have a bunch of stacked high volume nodes and it's just kind of like very low volume after that, I'd be like, okay, on these kind of days, I'm going to be a little bit more liberal with my trades, let them run longer because I'm expecting the market's going to rush. Yeah. And if I see a day where there's like a really big high volume node, like the big peak, I'm like, okay, I'm probably going to be like more aggressive, move my stop up. But I don't really use it to like execute or nothing.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So, man, you just go raw, no indicators.
Raw dogging it.
Wow. Because I had mad shit up. I got like all the EMAs and I have two RSIs because I have the regular RSI and then the RSI 2. Yo, that for me it's been real helpful because the RSI 2 when it's real oversold, like all right, that's when I feel more confident about a short because I'm doing retracements, right? So if it's oversold into a retracement, I mean overbought into a retracement, and I'm going short, like okay, it gives me more confidence. But damn, you just going raw out here. Yeah,
man. I've traded with everything. I used to trade with the algo called Omni, and it was like an algo that would print like these crazy ass levels. Yeah. I used to trade with like VWAP, TWAP. Dude, I've traded everything. Like harmonic patterns, if you're
I don't know what
crazy,
the fuck
like the
that
bat patterns, like they're like crazy. It's like Fibonacci patterns. Man, I tried everything, bro. Bought all the courses.
I think Jeremy trades raw too.
Yeah, he trades similar to how I do.
Real super similar. Yeah,
I actually I'm gonna go over there tomorrow and kind of figure out exactly what he did because like he's told me, and it kind of sounds like what I just explained. Really, like when one liquidity level fails, move to the next.
I don't know if he said. I'm not gonna say because he didn't say it on. I've heard him say it publicly, but he's made out of everyone I know. He's made the most money. Maybe you made more, right?
Yeah. Over the years. I mean, I will say what he did was like impressive.
It was wild. He made like a crazy amount.
Because like it's funny. That's just the standards like thing, right? Like so he came in and I was talking about. He said, "I want to be in the top 1% everything I do." Yeah. Right. So when you come into that mindset and you're not in like around a bunch of people, you're not setting your standard as like what's crazy. Yeah. You just go off what's crazy to you. And like Jeremy, Jeremy's getting money, bro. Yeah. No, you know what I mean? Like so it's like. To him, anything less than that is like, the fuck are we doing here? Yeah. But that's so powerful. That's why he killed it. You know what I mean? Because that's like when a lot of other people come in here. Like I've talked to people and be like, how much do you want to make in a day? How much would you comfortably make in a day? It's a weird question. Yeah. But everybody else like they're like, well, how much do I want to make it? I'm like, and how much would you be comfortable? Yeah. Like if you got right now, would you feel like not crazy? Yeah. Most people say like 5, 10K. Yeah. And I'm like, there you go. That's probably your ceiling where you might get really lucky and make that. And when you do, you're probably gonna get nervous and fuck it up. You know what I mean? So like if
Jeremy's was way
Jeremy's is like
not to put too much of his business out there, but that wouldn't make a big difference in his life.
So he had to go
like way bigger.
Yeah. And I think that it's important too, whatever that is for you. Like when you're starting out, you always want to start small and like learn or whatever, right? Like don't do something that's gonna bankrupt you. But also don't do something that's so small that you don't give a fuck. Like I talked to some people, they're trading these Apex accounts, they've just got one 25K account. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, if you're just learning and you just started and you literally are like, know nothing. Yeah. And you're like trading like a video game. That's fine. Cause that's like some people, and they're like in shambles over account. They're paying like $100, and I'm asking people, these people, it's not like they're broke.
Yeah,
they're not broke.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bro, like, do you go to steakhouses?
Yeah.
You probably spend fucking more on a steak.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People be like,
it's an ego thing though. It's a carrot dangling thing. Like, it's not necessarily losing the money. It's like losing opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Jeremy didn't give a fuck, bro. I seen him blow 20 accounts twice in a day and just reset his accounts and then
but that's how you have to be though.
Blow 2 sets of 20 accounts.
Yeah.
And one day go back and be trading again by the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, like, some people in the trading industry, they don't want to talk about it. But like any of these people that are getting crazy payouts, that's what they're doing. Yeah. But the thing is though, people say, oh, that's gambling. He's just a gambler. It's like, man, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, if you have a certain amount of money and you can risk it, like, that's the point. Like, now, obviously you don't want to just, it's not like people act like you're just closing your eyes and pushing buy or sell. Like, for example, I did like a bunch of Apex challenges with my group just to show them.
You get a little closer to
the my bad. I keep forgetting. Just to show them, you know what I mean? That it's like, oh, this is possible, right? When I did that, it was like last summer. I literally traded them like and basically risked like the whole risk on one trade and won. Yeah. And you got the account proved like one like trade instantly. Right? Holy shit! Yeah. Now you know what I mean. Like but it's like, okay, let's say if for like the 50Ks, right? So like back then that was when
50K you only need like five. You got to make 5K to get that.
No, it's 3K.
3K. Oh shit.
Yeah, man. It's like fucking today. I made 3K on one contract.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's my personal, but you know, like at that time, the payout threshold, the minimum payout threshold was 40K. So if and at that time it was a little cheaper. Now it's like 3K, but it was like 2K then. We'll use 3K to buy 20K, 20 accounts and activate them activate them. So let's say if you have 3K, okay, you've got to fucking fuck that up almost 7 times. Yeah. To be like in the red. Now, like if you're brand new, that's not that hard to do. Yeah, no, you know what I'm saying? You know, do that. But if you know what you're doing and you know, like that's like I built a software for this too. Like I have a whole SaaS that's like I don't sell it like in the public or anything, but it's like it's just like for the people I work with. But it's basically it'll tell you what risk to take based on the account you're trading and the trailing drawdown the account has and your win rate and all your trading metrics. Oh, and most people don't realize they're not risking enough. Oh, so it's something like Tradeovate or Trade. It's like I call it Enigma, but it's like
but it's for prop trading. Yeah. Okay, because to be clear, like so, some of y'all may not notice. You know, your audience knows.
I forget. Yeah,
but like these guys, they don't know what
prop trading is.
Prop trading. Can you explain prop trading? Because I didn't learn about that till like a year and a half ago. I was trading with my own money. Yeah. You know. Yeah. And you know that's more. You feel it more, right? Oh, absolutely. But it was absolutely is a different thing. But I was profitable. You know what I'm saying? So, but now I'm fucking with Apex. But can you explain it to him?
Yeah. So like imagine if there was a company where you could take a test and if you can prove on a paper account that you can make X amount of money without losing X amount of money, then you could get funded with more money. However, they're actually casinos.
Yeah, they're casinos.
There's no money ever being traded. Yeah. No real money ever.
It's not even real. People think that they like copy your trades and win it. No, it's just
they might with certain traders. Probably not. I mean, think about it from the business side of things. Yeah. I mean, you saw where Apex, what numbers are doing, right? Yeah. Like per month, because they had some like legal shit. So their numbers came out. It was like 17, 18 mil a month. Yeah. Yeah. They just paid out my boy Kyle like 2.5 mil. Yeah. Like 2 days ago. Yeah. Crazy. So, they're just handing out 2.5 mil. Like, wild. But essentially the way it works is like, let's say if 1,000 people buy a challenge. And then
a challenge is what?
The test. You buy the right.
You buy the right to take the test.
So they charge you for it, and if you fail, you don't get shit. Yeah. So like that's how they make money. Is
but like, if you win, you get funded. You can trade with a certain amount of money depending on what size you bought. Like right. I got 125K. Yeah. Okay, and you could trade. What got me is you could trade with 20 at a time.
Yeah. That's the kicker. The thing is too though. It's such an interesting model they have, man. It's a crazy model, bro. Like it's like some like fine-tuned to the last decimal of everything. They know exactly what they can get. You know, it's a good business, but you know, essentially you could buy the 20 accounts and you could have up to like you could buy 20 of the 300K accounts of 6 million. Yeah. You wanted, but the thing is, the higher the accounts you go, the worse the ratio to trailing drawdown. Right. They're harder.
Yeah, you know they're more difficult.
Yeah, but yeah, essentially it's a casino, man.
Yeah, because I got the 25K, and it's a $4,000 trailing Daryl down.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. But that's better. It's better than trading with my own money, because how much money with the 125 times 20, 125K times 20. Nima's agent, how much? What's that?
120. 100. What was it? 100.
Like, how much of my own money would I need to equal that?
How much is it?
It's 125K counts.
Oh, 125K.
125K counts.
20 of them.
Yeah, 20 of those.
So it'd be like 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5 million.
I think, right?
Yeah,
that's
motherfucking. Fuck that.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
well, how much is you trade with your own money?
I'm doing right now. I'm doing a challenge. I'm doing 50 to a million. I got to check 121. Actually, said today like 124.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I started in February.
You started with 50K?
Yeah, I want to take it to a million.
Oh,
I just say I did it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because it's gonna be like a crazy thing to say.
If you weren't doing the challenge, well, how much would you trade with?
I would never. So I don't look at it like the account size. Because, like, for example, like some people say risk 1% of your account. Like, what the fuck? That's just some like arbitrary things made up. Like, let's say if I had a million that I wanted to allocate towards trading. Yeah, I'm not putting the whole million in account. Yeah, there's no reason to. Right? I'll put 100K in account. Okay, and I might take 5K risk, 10K risk per trade. Yeah, you can make a lot of money doing that. Yeah, like a lot of money. You know what I mean? So like, it really comes down to like how much you want to lose. Like, what's your trailing drawdown? But like, I've been doing this for so long that like I know I'm not gonna just like
blow the shit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you never know.
Anything can happen. Right?
And right. Yeah. But like, because if you didn't know, then it's like my brain. It's like I'm like sticking it to myself. Like, oh, if you didn't know, go fucking put $1 million in. Yeah. That's what I'd. So, but within reason, I know that I'm not gonna just like lose everything. Right. So that's the way I go at it. But it's honestly been cool to do this challenge because it did that same thing. It removed because 50K. Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm not going to lose it all, but if I did, it just really doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So it's like, then you removed all the importance. Yeah. And I'm trading it. Like when I was doing the 50K, I was risking like $1,000 a trade. Today, somehow I usually risk like $1,000 to $3,000 a trade. Okay. But it's like, like today I only risked 1,000, made like 4K, which is like, it's not a bunch of money. Yeah. It's like 20 minutes, but it's the compounding into this account. Yeah, because it's gonna be cool too to be able to look back and say I turned 50K to a million. I'll come back and watch this episode.
How long do you think it's gonna take you?
I don't know. I didn't put a label on it.
I
figure if I put a label on, I'll fuck it up.
Yeah, because then it's too much pressure.
There's a different North Star.
Yeah,
everything has got a North Star, right? Like if your North Star when you start trading is to make money, you probably won't make money. You got a North Star to be learn how to trade. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So I always think like that, like with everything at all, like at the business. Everything's got you got a North Star. You really only got one. You could tell yourself you got like 3 or 4. You really got one. Good one. You know what I mean? And that's the same thing in life too. Like you usually, for me, it's like I'm either going to be super locked in on money and then like family and other things might falter a little bit in the short term, or you know what I mean? So it's the same thing with this account. I just look at it like the $1 million, the only thing. I'm not looking at it like the time it's going to take or how I'm going to get there. I just know I'm going to get there.
You just know. So you don't care if it's this year or next year?
Nah.
Okay.
I don't think in my head is like, man, I'm gonna try to do it this year. You feel me? But like, we'll see. I mean, I've already, because you look at compounding. I mean, I've already more than doubled it, almost tripled it already.
And how long?
Since like February.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like the end of January, like
right at January. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, but again, I don't want. The thing is too, I've had a really good performance, right? That's pretty good performance. Like only risking, not going crazy on risk. So I also am wise enough to know there will be a downturn at some point. You know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe it's tomorrow. Maybe it starts now. Who knows? It don't matter though, because it'll get there.
Gotcha. And so you trade with your money. What broker you use?
Interactive brokers.
You use why?
Man, honest, I don't know. They've been fucking pissing me off recently. The reason I did use them though is because they had high yield cash accounts. I used to use them for buying stocks. Got it. I started using M1. You ever use M1?
Nah.
Oh, it's sick, bro. It's like an automated stock buying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you can.
Oh, I've heard of it.
It's fucking fire, bro. I honestly, I was a hater on it because like
for you automatic stock buying for like your investment account.
Yeah. So like you can basically build a pie chart and you can put on that pie chart the percentages of what you want your money to go to, and it balances it for you. Yeah. So like I have one account that's like the classic intelligent investor, 50% VOO, 50% BND.
Yeah.
So it's like half bonds, half S&P. The other one I got is like long-term blue chips, but I can like allocate differently and put different amounts towards each every 2 weeks.
Got it. Yeah. I was about to use one of them robo investors for I have an account for my son where I put money in since he was a baby. Right. But then what I did instead is I stopped doing that because I got, I forget the name of, that life insurance.
TUL or IUL or
Yeah,
whatever.
that kind of life
yeah.
insurance. So you can take loans against it
Right,
or all that
right,
shit,
right.
later on. So and they use the state. It goes by with the index funds.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's
right.
yeah.
So I
Like
started doing that for him.
Yeah. That is the play for kids. I have one for my daughter too. Yeah, but it's like for us, it's not the play.
It's not the play for me.
People be doing it, and some people be like acting like they fucking unlocked the cheat code. You know what I'm saying? That you already know what I mean. People be like, "This, you got to do this. This is how you're gonna get rich." I'm like, rich? Are you ain't getting rich from like it's the same thing as, but for a kid though, it's the move. 100%.
Yeah, because my I don't know how's your daughter?
She's 7.
Oh, my son is 7.
Yeah, hell yeah,
yeah, man.
Yeah.
So it's like if he wants to if he's older and he wants to start a business. Yeah, I could give him the money, or take the loan, or did you take it from the fucking life insurance?
Right, and just borrow, and it's like it's non-taxable.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or God forbid something happened to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah,
he gets a few mil.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
The longer it goes, the more it is.
The longer it goes, the more it is.
Yeah. Especially how young was it when you started it?
I started that at the end of last year.
Nice,
because I didn't know about it.
I
didn't really know about it. I just was putting money in a brokerage for him since he was born, like $2,000 a month.
Yeah, but that's awesome. That's still young as shit, bro.
Man. All right, cool. Listen, if somebody, you feel like people should, when they're starting, they should use prop firms instead of their own money, like I did at first.
Absolutely, absolutely, like for sure. Like, and I always tell people too, like just start out with a 25K account, just because, like when you're just learning, like I put it like this: if you can't afford to do that, you're wasting your time and trying to learn a trade.
That's not.
We're talking like people spend less on dumbass subscriptions that they forget about every month. You know what I mean? People up somewhere on Hulu and Netflix. So do that. Yeah, learn and try to always. The thing people mess up, I think, is they always want to learn a bunch before ever applying it. Oh, and they like prep like they're prepping for the fucking Olympics or something. Yeah, and they think that they're gonna. It's like swimming. Like imagine if like Michael Phelps had wrote a book on swimming. Yeah, if you read the book but you couldn't swim. Yeah. Are you gonna jump in the water and no, you're gonna jump in and be like, oh fuck, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Yeah. You know what I mean? You got the same thing with trading. People like watch these YouTube videos, buy all these courses. They're like, oh, I've prepared for 6 months and now I'll take my first trade. Oh no, like, now you begin today. You got to start immediately. Yeah. I even though Jeremy made all that money, we can't say how much, but it was. I think he's gonna reveal it tomorrow. Oh, if he reveals it, we'll see. Yeah. Don't say it. Yeah. No. But I know that he fucking spent a year blowing accounts. Yeah. Because he was even he showed me the emails like exactly how much he spent and how much he returned. Like a crazy amount. Yeah. It wasn't as it is a crazy amount. Yeah. But in comparison, but he came up. Yeah. He came up like crazy. Yeah. But yeah, you got to get in there. I did when Jeremy was blowing all them accounts. I was like, instead of doing this, I'm just gonna pay. That's why I said, okay, I'm a paper trade for 2 hours. I blew accounts too, but not as many as Jeremy. Yeah. But at the same time, I ain't made as much money as Jeremy. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, from me yet. You gotta risk it, bro. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean it is still crazy to go through that many. When you're in it. Because you don't know if it's gonna come out. That's the thing, you know. I mean? Like he told me, he was looking at his shit like, "Yo, should I do this shit?" Oh, yeah. You know what? You got a super chat. Somebody wanted to ask you a question. Oh shit.
We have Leo. Yo, Casper, big respect to you. What do you advise someone do if they are getting better at this skill to lower expenses? I'm thinking about living in a cheap city country. Any other thoughts?
Hey, first off, thank you, man. I appreciate you. So I would say this, like, if I understand the question right, like if you're getting better at it to lower expenses. That was shout out to Leonardo, man. He do his thing. I think he want to, you know what I'm saying? Listen, sometimes we got to decode the questions, man. Sometimes it's like the Riddler is asking us questions, man. But I think he means he wants to get better at trading, but he also wants to lower expenses, right? Yeah. Interpret it. Yeah, no. So I would say, like, I mean, if you want to like lower expenses in trading, or like in business or in life, I think he wants to learn to trade while he's lowering expenses in life. Because I be talking about that thing to do for people. Yeah, I'll talk about that. Perfect thing to do. Yeah, because like at that point, I mean, like the best way to get good at anything, man, is stop going out and wasting money on dumb shit.
Yeah.
Stop going out to the clubs and like going out to eat all the fucking time. Like that's the biggest thing too. So
This dude's a G. He got another, because I'll be telling people, if you broke, man, get a second job, get a third job. I say it all the time.
Yeah.
And he started driving Uber and shit. You know, like
Man,
this
hell
dude
yeah.
is cool. He show up.
You know, that's what I did. I drove DoorDash whenever all that shit happened. I drove DoorDash.
Yeah, we're gonna
Swear
get
to
into
God.
that in a minute.
Yeah.
But like, yeah,
But
I wish DoorDash existed when I was broke. Because
Right.
when I was broke, it was in 08. None of that
Yeah.
shit. We fucking MySpace.
Yeah, for
Motherfuckers
real.
was
Yeah.
on MySpace.
Yeah, for
we
real.
had none of this shit. Motherfuckers ain't had smartphones yet.
Yeah, nah,
You know?
but I would say, man, like I would say just stay locked in, commit yourself to like putting your phone away for like 2 hours a day. And you don't even buy anything to try to just learn on trading. Just watch shit. Like you could watch enough on YouTube to at least get your feet wet. Don't spend a bunch of money on prop firm accounts. Just go buy a 25K Apex account while you're watching. Take notes on everything you learn. Try to write down what you don't know. And go out and try to apply it and see what you can do and just kind of take it day by day, man. That's what I would say is the biggest piece of advice for that, to balance out the lowering expenses.
He wants to know if he should move to a cheap country or a cheap city. Or
I give you, man, I look like this, man. I think when you like, I'll give you an example like this. Let's say if a business is having a downturn, what's the worst thing it can do? Cut off marketing. Stop spending money on marketing. Exactly. You know, people, so it's the same thing I think with life to a point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I understand though at the other end of that, I'm not saying you should go move to like Dubai or Brickell, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I wouldn't change everything just to that. Like I don't know your situation, you know.
He just
I
gave
want
us
to
an
learn
update.
Yeah, like while lowering expenses. I
Yeah.
mean, you could do that, you know, just trade with like a smaller amount. But I would say, you know, like if you're in a big city, do you know where Leonardo lives?
I don't know where Leonardo lives.
If you're in a big city, I would say this. Like if anybody who's like in New York City, I hear, like, or in Miami, even in certain areas, and you're not there yet, you got to go somewhere that's a little cheaper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't want to go like out to nowhere.
Yeah.
But like somewhere that's a little cheaper for sure.
Yeah, as long as it's not a struggle. Yeah, I was living in New York City, but it was in Queens though, like deep in Queens initially.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like it wasn't.
Yeah.
crazy. And you know, I offset it because I didn't have a car. I got rid of my car,
Mhm.
so I was like, man, I just needed a Metro card, man. It was like $100 for the month. I get all around the city, man, wherever I needed to go, and that was helpful, you know. And also, I know you drive Uber, Leonardo. Yo, driving Uber in some of these other city in a bullshit city is not going to be as lucrative.
That's true.
You should look it up. You should. What cities do Uber drivers make the most money? If you live in the big cities, I'm assuming
Endless work.
Yeah. But I think I read that the average New York City Uber driver who does it full time is making like $80K.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure, bro. Yeah.
Yo, Minovia, fucking chat GPT that shit and let me know if I'm right. All right. Yo, that's what's up. Shout out to you, Leonardo. Now, you know, man, when I was researching for this interview, I was like, oh, this is my boy Jesse, because we know each other through Jeremy. We both spoke at his mastermind and stuff. It's the homie. And then also Amber.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so we got mutual friends, mutual colleagues, business partners and shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, let me find out some more information about the homie. And then what I saw was okay, Uber drivers make between in New York City between 48 and 50 grand doing it full time.
That's like the average probably though, right?
That's the average.
Yeah. It's like the higher.
Yeah,
you make more.
Yeah, and that's 40 hours though, right?
Yeah.
So if you 40 hours, you fucking you ain't hustling if you working 40 hours.
Yeah,
anyway,
for real.
Yeah, that don't even happen in the movies. Motherfuckers don't come up working 40 hours. You know, that shit don't even happen in Hollywood. You know. All right, but anyway, I was researching this, man, and mugshots.
Yeah,
came up, man.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that, man? What you get arrested for, man? What's such a nice guy like you?
Long story short, I caught what a state level RICO case for marijuana and cocaine and money laundering.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but I beat most of the charges.
You beat the charges?
I didn't beat all of them, but I beat the levels, like the amounts, because the way they charged it. So it was a state case. I won't get too crazy in the details of this part.
Yeah, don't say nothing.
Yeah, and I'm good. Like I already talked to my lawyer about this because I went on Fresh and Fit and talked about it.
Okay.
Crazy. Long story short, they did not put together a case that was like undeniable. Right. So there were some things that were more allegedly than they could. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that, and then there were a lot of different, like I could talk for like an hour, like about like all the little details of it. I went through one lawyer. I fired him, had to hire a new lawyer, a team of lawyers, right? Fought the case for 3 years. And I ended up, beating most of it, right? I got a felony and I got put on probation. Yeah. So, but if it would have went federal, I'd have been fucked. Okay. Long story short, though, I'll kind of go real high level kind of journey here. So when I grew up, my parents were well off, right? Whenever I was very young, but then in 2008 lost everything because my dad was in corporate sales. Right? Yeah. So we went from like living
I had a similar story. My dad, I was poor growing up. And then by the time I went to high school, by the time I graduated my school, well, in high school, my dad started making money. Like we were struggling. The South Side of Chicago, we were like legit struggling. And I got sent away to military school. And by the time I graduated, his business started working. He was making $3 million a year. Damn. In 2000. That's crazy. So that was like $8 million a year in today's money. Right. Yeah. And then I went to college. And by the time I got out of college, he lost it all. And then he killed himself right before the recession. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Because he was in fucking crazy debt, you know? Yeah. So it's like we was broke, then we was rich, then we was broke, and then we was super broke, like in debt, like then we was in the negative. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I feel that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Coming from being rich is like it's one thing to be poor in life, you get accustomed to it. But then you get rich.
You can't go broke again. Yeah, no.
Luckily, I didn't really experience it. But I think that's why my dad killed himself, because he experienced it.
Yeah, no,
I was away, man. At high school, military school, then in college. So I knew what happened, but I wasn't getting none of the benefits of it. I wasn't experiencing it. Yeah. But he fucking lived it and then lost it. And I think that was too much. But anyway.
That's crazy, man. I didn't know. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, but still, yeah. But anyways, like we weren't rich by any means. It was like middle class, upper middle class. Okay. Had a nice house, lived in like a nice neighborhood. Then that shit happened, lost the house, lost all the cars, everything. Shit. Yeah, because they were over leveraged too. Like they weren't in a good position to have anything bad happen. Moved to another area that wasn't the best area. My mom had to get a job too because she didn't have to work most of my life. And at this point, I was like 12. Right. Oh shit. So I started smoking weed. I was 11 actually. I was about to turn 12. I started smoking weed at the neighbors, these older kids. Kind of crazy looking back. These motherfuckers, like, why are they smoking weed with an 11-year-old neighbor? You know what I'm saying? Like, how old were they? They're like 16, 15.
Smoking weed with the kids.
Yeah, I'm like, man, whenever I was 16, I was, in that life and stuff. But like, if an 11-year-old walked up, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I always think about that. I'm like, what were they doing? Insane. But yeah, they smoked weed with me, like get me drinking and shit. So I got into that life. And then like real quick though, like I realized, because I used to ask, I'd be like, why does this happen? Like what's going on? Like where the fuck's all this stuff? I was playing travel ball. I'm like, what's going on? Like why is this happening? And then like my dad would just be like, you don't understand, like don't ask me again. It has to do with money. I remember him saying, don't ask me again. You don't understand it. You're too young. So in my mind, I'm like, I want to make a bunch of money. Like whenever I was that age, I remember they'd be like, what do you want to be when you grow up at school? Kids would be like some random shit. I'm sitting here. I'm like, I felt bad because I was like, I don't know, but I just want to be rich. Yeah. That's all I knew. I didn't give a. I was like, do y'all actually give a fuck? Like, be an astronaut. How much does that pay? That sounds fucking. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I thought about.
Get this fucking paper, man.
Literally. So like that shit was ingrained in me from a very deep level, right? So like not even like a desire to do it to be glamorous, but like a desire to not go through what I saw my dad go through. Because my dad and my mom, you know how that shit goes, right?
Yeah. Did they stay together through that?
Yeah, man. It's crazy. They're still together now.
Oh man, that's
wild,
awesome, man.
Wild.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Yeah, no, they pushed it through. But whenever that happened, I got into that life, and then I started thinking like, okay, I saw people trapping and stuff, and I was like, that time too. This is like that shit was like really glamorized.
What year was this?
This was 2000. When I was like 13, so like 2009, 2010.
Oh yeah.
2010, 2010. And at that point I started like, I had kids that I used to box with. So I boxed for like 7 years. And I boxed at the only boxing gym was for the projects. So I went to the city and like they would pick me up from the Boys and Girls Club because my parents worked. I'd go there, they'd pick me up and I would go to the city. And this is like more in the city. And I went to a school that was more in the country. So like these kids were like paying tax-ass weed prices. They didn't have no good weed. Right. And when I went to the city, I was boxing with like a bunch of older kids. They were all like, it's the projects. Like all of them were trapping. Yeah. At the gym, in the car. I mean, and the older kids. Yeah. So I would get weed from that. And then I would go and sell it for like way higher.
Yeah.
So that was immediately like, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I can smoke weed for free and maybe
Mhm.
make a little bit.
Mhm.
And to save like a long journey from there, that escalated like crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's throughout high school. I was getting in trouble in high school. I was balling in high school, bro.
Mm.
Like balling. And like I was going to Cali making trips. I was like 16.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was like, you know, doing all that. And then that all escalated, right? I moved to Cali when I turned 18 because I wanted to get legit. I wanted to get out. Like I also got hooked on like drugs and shit,
Oh.
like pills, like Xanaxes.
Okay.
Not like crap. I was like injecting something.
Yeah.
But I was just all fucked up, you know?
Yeah.
Partying and shit. So I was like, I got to get out of here. Went to Cali, started my own weed company.
Okay.
Like a farm.
Like a legit, some legit shit.
Yeah. But I mean, every legit Ketone in Cali is not legit. I'd say like most of them. But essentially, I did that for a while and was legit. And then I had a daughter when I was out there. So I was like, I don't want to be out here with my daughter, you know? Because like there's all sorts of fucked up shit that happens in that game. Like you get robbed.
Yeah.
If you got to grow and everybody knows you're the dude, then people get robbed, people get killed for that shit. So I was like, you know, I had a kid in the house. So I was like, I don't want to do this no more. Not out here. I was like, you're going to clean your life up. Also, right around this time, like a year before that, was when I got rich off crypto.
Oh, okay.
So tying this back in. Okay. So in 2016, my daughter was born in 2017. 2016 was whenever I kind of like came up in that. So I came up.
So you made like a few $100,000.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm the man. You know what I mean? I got it. Like I'm rich. I'm a trader now. I don't have to do this shit no more.
Yeah.
I can trade. Right. So I thought I'm going to move home. I'm going to be able to trade. I can get out of the game. But man, like, that's why I always say getting caught was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be sitting right here. Like I wouldn't have made any of the amount of like, I mean, I ended up losing everything that I made in that game, which I'll get to that in a second, but I make way more fucking money now. Like not even close. Like you used to think, like, it's funny. A lot of the people that are in that, like think they're getting money. It's like, no, you're not, you know what I mean? So, essentially I moved back home, but you're not really ever out of the game, man. Like it's like a power addiction, and you're the dude. You're going to the clubs.
That fast money. Yeah.
It's funny. I'll show you a picture of my old self, bro. Like I'd be wearing like the Bape hoodie with the big ass Cuban chain, bust down AP.
Oh shit.
Balenciaga shoes, complete different vibe. It's like I look at this, I'm like, who was this kid, dude? I was a complete different person, man. So I was like going to the clubs. I was the dude, you know, going like shutting the club down like 30 deep, all that. So I was addicted to that. You know what I mean? So I came home, tried to say I was not gonna be in it, got out of it for a while, right? But then got back into it, got into some trouble, and I was losing all my money in crypto, right? So when I got into trouble, I was like, all right, motherfucker, you said you're gonna come home and get out. You've now came home, fucked up your money, gotten into trouble again. Like, what are you doing? So then I was like, I'm gonna get into sales. My dad was into sales. I'm gonna get out of this shit. Get into sales. So I literally went from doing all that to being a door-to-door appointment setter. For a solar company.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And I was like, this shit's easy because I was slick with it. Like, I mean, at first it was kind of hard.
Yeah.
Then I started like making up a new pitch. I had the slickest pitch, man. It's funny. Like they had this dumbass pitch. It was like, hey, have you heard about the solar energy initiative? Like it's door slam. I went and bought a construction vest and a clipboard.
Oh. And
I bought a construction hat. And I would go and I would knock on the door and I'd step back and look at the house. I'm just looking at it. And people would be like, what the fuck's this dude doing? They're going to open the door.
Yeah.
So they'd open the door and I'd be like, how you doing? You the homeowner?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, I am. Like, because that was a qualifying question.
Right.
I'm like, okay. Yeah, I'm just taking a look. We got some trucks in the neighborhood doing some surveys going around, seeing we got some houses eligible for this program. What are you paying power per month?
Oh.
But like, dude, it worked crazy. Because people are like, they're hooked. It's curiosity, right? So then I started crushing it with that. Ascended up, became a closer. Was like the top 3 closers in the whole company, the whole like nation for a long time. And then I became a sales manager. Ended up quitting and started my own solar company. Right?
Okay.
But then I failed. Completely failed.
Because salespeople are not always good at business.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no. At that time,
sometimes it's the
opposite.
It's the opposite.
Yeah, and like at that time, like I mean, we did good for a little while, but then it failed. Right? I mean, that's a lot of businesses, right? But then I said, and at this time also too, the mother of my child and I split up.
Okay.
So I felt like I was like, dude, holy fuck, you've came full circle. All this shit, you made a bunch of money, lost it all.
You made money and lost it a bunch of times at this point.
Yeah, I've gone from from 7 figures to broke once before, and from 6 figures to broke once before that.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Now it feels good because I know I ain't never going broke again.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But the last time, so whenever that company failed, right? And the mother of my child and I just split up, didn't work out. And at that point, I'm like, damn, you done fucked up. You done fucked up your family. I was like, you piece of shit. Like I was depressed.
Yeah.
And I said, man, fuck this shit.
How old was your daughter at this time?
This was 2019.
Okay.
So she was 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is like late 2019. But so then I was like, I'm going, you know, actually, no. That's not, yeah, no, it was like early 2019. So then I was like, I'm going full back into the game, right? So I said, fuck everything. I'm going full in. That's when shit got really crazy.
Yeah.
Really, really crazy, right? And I went into that like till like right around like early 2020. And then there was like a lot of stuff going on. I mean, because it was like, I caught a big case. We'll say there was motion. Right?
Yeah.
So, and then there was like rumors and shit of people. There was things happening like where people were saying like, people were getting raided, and then they're saying like, yo, they're asking about you. So I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of here. I went back to Cali.
Yeah.
So this is like early 2020. This is when I went like full into trading. So I bought into that. It was crazy, bro. I remember there was actually a guy named the Cali Plug. He's like a big trapper.
Okay.
In Cali, right?
Yeah.
He's super like famous in that world. And I saw on his Snapchat an ad for a Discord about trading. And I'm like, bro, this is like God sent shit.
Yeah.
It was the craziest moment. I was like, this is your son. Cause I was like, bro, I was getting my idea. I was going to buy exotic cars and rent them. What a fucking dumbass business model. You know what I mean? Like I was just finding anything that I thought I could do to get out of it. Cause at that time I was like, you know, So, essentially I was like, okay, I got this Discord. I joined it. That's where I really started to take trading serious. And that's where we kind of get to that part of the story earlier. I started taking trading serious, but as I was getting into trading and taking it serious, come 2021, after all this shit's been like dead for a while, and I thought I was good, raid.
Oh.
Yeah. And then they raided 26 other people, or 25, so 26 total.
They went and found you in Cali?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
They hit me all the way in Cali.
Oh, it was the feds. Yeah.
No, it's Tennessee.
Oh, really?
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Yeah. So but they wanted the feds to pick it up, but the feds looked at the case and were like, it's not strong enough. We don't want to pick it up.
The feds.
That's where my life saved.
Yeah, because the feds.
I'd have been done. Oh, I'd been done. I'd be in prison right now for sure. Yeah. But it's a kind of like Young Thugs thing. The thugs, the feds didn't pick up Young Thugs either. He would have been fucked, right? But yeah. So essentially, when that happened, I lost everything in multitudes of ways, as you can imagine what was happening, right?
Yeah.
I had to stay in Cali jail for and this is where like my life changed.
Jail or prison?
Jail.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was Riverside County. And Riverside County. You ever Riverside County?
No.
Yeah, it's not. It's not very. It's not a friendly, jail. Like it's not a good county to go to jail in.
Yeah, the best jail I've been in is man, I think Austin, Texas has a nice jail. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a big fan of any New York jails. And then really Central Bookings is like probably one of my least favorite places on earth. But Austin has a nice jail. I'm sorry. Go on.
I see Hayuk in the chat. I see him somewhere. So he said hi. He's the homie, man.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, he's cool. Nah, but essentially, I had to, since I was like they labeled me as a fugitive from justice because I was out of state. So then I had to go to like a high security unit. But it was almost comical because when I went in there, they were like it was a bunch of gang members.
Yeah. But
it was like so funny that I was in there that they didn't even fuck with me. They were more like, what the fuck is this dude doing? Yeah. They're like, thought it was funny, Yeah. But they were cool as fuck, man. I always joke, like, people are like, man, I bet that would be so sketchy. I'm like, bro, they were like the nicest people ever.
How long did you stay in it?
40 days.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So like 40 days waiting, and I never knew when I was going to come back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, that's like 23 in, 1 out. And, it's like fucking Cali jail, bro. It's not a good, I mean, jail's jail. But But anyways, came home. I hired one lawyer and basically fought the case for quite a long time with him. And then ended up firing him because he was just full of fucking bullshit. Like he literally filed like 2 motions the entire time and told me he filed more motions. Also, the motions he filed, it was some politics shit, bro, for sure. Because it was the biggest case in that county's history.
Oh, wow. Against you?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So that was like, that's not a big area either, but it's a city, it's like Johnson City, Tennessee. But essentially, he just wasn't doing shit. So I fired him after I figured this out. And I hired, you ever see the movie Masterminds by Zach Galifianakis in it?
Nah.
It's like the bank robber. That's like you have to.
I'll take your word for
it. Yeah. But it's based on the dude who was like the second largest bank robber in America.
Okay.
I got his lawyer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, not because of that, but it was just like by chance. That's how I always. But Noel, shout out to Noel, man, it's fucking saved my life. But
yo, big Noel, man.
Him and his whole like team of lawyers, right? Because it's like 6 lawyers total. So like it was a crazy. It was like a movie. I was in the court when I had to fire the lawyer, and because they told me this is your last court date. If you don't plead, you go to plead, you get 8 years. If you don't plead, you're going to trial. The minimum you'll get 15. And I was like, I can't fucking plead to 8 years, dude. Like, because they didn't. I was like, I knew in my head, in my heart, like and also by this time, I'm like coming up on YouTube. Oh, and nobody really knows it because I didn't come out with it. I didn't talk about it. You know what I mean? As I'm sure you saw, like there's like people trying to make hit pieces on me. And shit, which like now I just, it is what it is. But I didn't lead with it because I didn't want to be described as that. Never hit it. Like there were a lot of my friends that knew about it. All the people in the Playbit community, which is the Discord, everybody knew about it because when that happened, I was a coach. They're like, damn, free Casper. You know what I mean? It's like a whole movement. So it wasn't like a secret, but it wasn't like,
not something you want to fucking lead with. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But I look back and
put your fucking worst foot forward.
Yeah.
For no reason. Yeah.
Exactly, man. And like even now, like talking about it, like by no means do I mean it's glamorizing.
Yeah. You just, no, I actually.
No, yeah. No, I know. I always be clear with that too. Cause like I want people to know, like, fuck that shit. You know what I mean? I'm so glad I'm out of that. Best thing that ever happened to me getting caught. But, essentially I had to go in the court and they were like, this is your last date before you go to trial. And on that day I had to go in front of the judge, like when they, it's your turn, they stand up. Yeah. And in the middle of everyone talking, I say, excuse me, Your Honor. And now they look at you, they're like, what did you just fucking say? Yeah. You fucking peasant. You know what I mean? They're like, you're speaking, but and I was like, I have to make it known to the court that I'm relieving Mr. Bowen of my counsel. Oh. And everyone's like, bro, people are like moving. But it's like some movies, people are moving books around, like, like the murmuring and shit. It was literally like that. And they're like, what the fuck? And then the judge looks at me and like smiles, almost like, it's like, okay, who's representing you? And at that moment, like all 6 lawyers stand up and they're like,
oh, but they're behind you.
Yeah, they're in the like the seats.
Yeah.
They're like, we'll take it from
some
here.
Movie shit.
Yeah, they're like, we'll take it from here, Your Honor. And they walk up and they like start opening their suitcases. Yeah. And the judge looked at me and was like, okay. Like she was, and it was like almost like a form of respect. Yeah. Because she used to be a big criminal defense lawyer. Oh. So I think she's like, he's not fucking playing. Yeah. Like he's a psycho. Because like that was a crazy move. Like at that point, like, but I looked at it, I was like this, like to me, as like 8 years and 15 in my head, the same thing was a death sentence.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah. So it was a death sentence, And I was like, had blown up on YouTube, my trading. At this point, I did like 600K trading. I was like, life was amazing other than this. And it was this crazy like reality where everybody that didn't know my past was so happy for me, but everyone that did know my past was so worried for me.
At that time, were you trading with Apex or your own money?
No, I was trading with my Forex funds. This was before futures firms were like as big.
Got it. Okay.
So, but yeah, man, it was the craziest fucking thing, man.
And then you went to trial with the new lawyer.
No, I didn't go to trial.
Oh, really?
No.
Why
so
not?
I didn't go to trial. So they ended up dropping it So then I fought the case for another year, right? But then with the new lawyers, they filed so many motions that the last lawyer didn't do. Yeah. That by the time that it was like what was permissible, the different like all the mechanics of the case, there wasn't really a case.
Wasn't strong enough.
Yeah. And really, because like I never got caught with nothing, like not anything. I got $1,200, bro. 1,200. Yeah. Like, but you're gonna say that I was like a fucking king, and then also like a witness retracted their statement last minute. So there was a lot of complicated things that happened. You know what I mean? But yeah. So essentially, they basically finally and it was pushing it all the way to the next time where they were like, well, this is the last court date before we go to trial, and I was like, well, I'm not pleading. Yeah. And then this is the last court date before we go to trial. I'm not pleading. And then they kept like pushing it off, and also too, my lawyer leveraged like my business and my success to them. They're like, look, like this guy isn't like just out here like some, he ain't gonna be out here like causing problems. He doesn't even live here anymore. Yeah, like he's not gonna be. And then like he was like trying to negotiate with them, kept playing that card, kept playing like we'll pay any fines. They didn't even like want to do any crazy fines. But yeah, eventually it got to the point they filed like 27 motions, and there's so much evidence that was either suppressed or non-admissible, or a witness that was not credible, or a witness that like made up stuff, or that they found like inconsistencies in one thing they said, because then they would interview them. Because like really when a lawyer goes to work for you, very few things they actually can't do. That's one thing I learned, is it's really just about how much do you pay your lawyer, and how much do they actually care, because there's almost always something in a case that's that complex. Almost always. So he found that something, and then I still got a felony, and I got 6 years probation.
Oh really?
Yeah. But I mean, dude, 8 years.
What was the felony
prison,
for?
Cocaine possession with intent to resell, or conspiracy to possess and resell cocaine.
So you couldn't vote.
Nah.
You know, every time people ask me, man, who you vote for? I was like, man, I can't vote. Man.
Oh, you got a felony?
No, I just say it.
Oh, shit.
And they say, why you can't vote? I was like, man, felonies. And then I don't tell them what. It's just like a little fun thing I've been doing ever since I turned 18.
Man, that's funny. That's funny as fuck, bro. That's funny. Man.
But yo, that's what's up though, man.
Hey, thank you, man. Yeah, I'm grateful every day.
That's
man.
a success story right there, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, bro. I was just talking to my boy Jordan. You know Jordan Welch?
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was talking to Jordan. He said it. That's what I was talking. I told him I was going to come on here, and he was just like, "Man, that's just like you should be so grateful." And I told him, I was like, "Bro, look, I remember thinking about like being grateful and like you talk about all that shit, bro. I swear to God, every day I wake up, every fucking day, I literally, it's not even about money or anything. I'm just like, you almost were fucked, and it motivates me. So I'm like, I almost feel like if I don't give some, like if I don't really like go next level, I'm like, that's a waste of life.
I'm glad you don't glamorize this shit too.
Nah, hell no, it's terrible.
When you stopped, let me ask you a question. When you stopped, didn't it feel like a huge weight when you stopped, even before before you got the Fed, before the law came, right?
Oh,
when you just stopped.
The night I was in jail, I felt the biggest relief in my life,
bro.
I swear to God. Like the first night I was in jail, even though I didn't even know what I'd been charged with. Really, they just told me, because like when they raided me as a guy, they're like, "You're on an unsealed indictment." I was like, "Fuck, what is it?" But I still felt this relief, because in my mind, when you're in that life, no matter how much money you make, you can't enjoy a second of your life, because you either have to worry about somebody coming after you, you have to worry about the cops, you have to worry about somebody trying to rob you, kill you, and you never really live. And like from the time I was 13 until that point, I never experienced what like a normal life at all even was.
It feels like when I describe it to people, it feels like you're going, you know, when you're going that first drop on a roller coaster, you know that feeling you feel before it goes down.
It's like never ending.
It feels like that 24 hours, right? Am I right?
Yeah,
like
no,
it feels
absolutely,
like that
man.
24 hours, and it's like, I don't want to get into my shit, right? But like, it's like when you, you know, I was involved in a lot of things, you know, whatever.
Right.
People who know me know the story. And then what happened, one of my boys got sent to prison, a double homicide, you know, and then my other boy, Esco, got murdered.
Damn.
Right, you know, ops. And then my dad killed himself, and I was like,
damn.
You know what, man, let me make sure everything I'm doing is legit at this point. You know, I just turn shit around. And anyway, without going into too much detail, right? And I mean, this, you know, statute of limitations from a long time ago, but you know, whatever. I don't want people to go looking into shit. And anyway, I just remember when I made that decision, it just felt like, you know what I'm saying? When you
dude, it's like,
know?
it's like almost like you're thankful that it's forced, because you know deep down you're never gonna stop. Like you'll never stop if something doesn't force you, because you're addicted not only to the money, because it's not even the money, it's the power and the fame or the notoriety and like the bad boy shit. Like that's really what I realized. I didn't think that when I was active. People don't want to lie and say that it's not that, but like if you're gonna be that level at that, dude, you could kill it in business. If you just had the balls to quit and take that like 6 months hiatus of not making money to learn. But yeah, man, it was like the craziest relief. But then, but to be clear though, once I fucking realized I was charged with shit, it was not much more relief. Then I was like, oh my God. I was like, I gotta,
never happened.
Yeah, I was like, man, I gotta, I was like, now I gotta just fucking make as much. I mean, I looked at it like as a death sentence in the early stage. You know what I mean? I was like, now I got to make a bunch of money to put away for my daughter. That's how I went in this crazy like state of mind. I was like, I'm dead pretty much, you know? But that also like made me not give a fuck about nothing. I just went hard, you know? But I also got like, there's a whole lot of, I started a trucking company while I was, not started, I got into a trucking company with my boy.
Yeah, you invested in
one. Not even invested.
Automation shit?
No, hell no. That shit was all a scam. It's automation.
Yeah.
Left it there. All this. No, but I remember there was that one that was, anyway, I won't even drop the name.
Yeah.
But it's so fucking bullshit. But man, essentially like I had a friend who he already had a dump truck business, and I knew people that wanted to invest from that Discord, from my Discord. They had paper they wanted to invest. So I linked it up and we started a trucking company. We ran it up to like 10 trucks, but then we got completely fucked by an investor. And then that caused like a liquidity problem and ended up blowing up. But it was kind of crazy. We actually were pretty successful with it for a short time. But after that happened, this is while I'm fighting the case.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Because they said you have to get a job or some kind of legal, sustainable something to stay out on bond. And trading didn't count. You can't be like, oh, I'm trading crypto on Binance, dude.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
Going it. Yeah. Put
Yeah.
the fries in the bag, bro.
Guy,
Yeah. You know, but, yeah. Yeah. So that was why I did that. But then when that failed, I got super fucking depressed, bro. I got fat as fuck. You know how I was 200. So right now I'm like 185, 186.
Yeah.
I was 260 pounds.
Oh, shit.
At the end of 2022.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was a fat fuck, bro.
How'd you lose weight?
Dude, psycho shit. Like I used to box. So
the
unhealthy. Like, bro, I went from I was being like, bro, I'm not fucking with it. It's like disgusting. Even saying that. I was ordering like DoorDashing like Sonic Blast and like double cheeseburgers and
on
shit.
Some real shit. I didn't think Sonic was a real place. Like, because ain't none in New York, and I was like, "Yo, man, what are all these commercials?
Yeah.
Is this shit? This shit can't be fucking real." Because I had never seen the Sonic in New York. I was like, "This shit is not fucking real, man. This is an elaborate scam."
Nah, it's real, bro. I used to eat that shit. I was drinking. I drink like those wines with my girl. It's crazy too. My fiance, I met her when I was like, before that happened, like before the trucking company, I met her when I was like down bad.
Yeah.
So like that's the only girl I ever got with that when I was like broke.
Oh, your current fiance.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's
Yeah,
up.
so I've been on her all the time.
Shout out to her, man.
Yeah,
bro.
man. Shout out. Yeah, absolutely, bro. But I basically after all that shit happened, I got super depressed. I was like we were drinking like $7 bottles of wine from like the fucking Food City, bro. I swear smoking vapes. I was smoking those nicotine vapes like crazy, bro. Like I was smoking like one of them a day.
You fucking stressed out,
man.
Yeah,
bro, literally. And then I remember I got to a point where I realized I was like, dude, there's no chance you're gonna beat this. Because I got to a point also too where I remember, bro, it's like, it sounds corny, but I remember I listened to David Goggins' book, and it wasn't the first time I've read it.
Which one?
Can't Hurt Me.
Okay, Hurt Me. Yeah.
And I remember I was just so disgusted with myself. I was like, you're being such a pussy ass motherfucker. Yeah. This isn't. You've never. Because I've always preached the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Like go hard, be the like no tolerance for like any kind of fucking mediocrity.
Yeah.
My dad was like that. My dad was crazy about that shit, like sports or anything. Like there was no room for like, anything but the best, which is like I used to hate it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for it now.
Yeah.
It makes you crazy, but and then I started realizing, I was like, bro, who have you become? You become this weak ass fucking sack of skin, you fat fucking Dominoes and Sonic. I was like, man, I swear to God, I listened to that book. Bro, I literally I ordered a sauna suit on Amazon. That's what I used to do to cut weight in boxing. Started running my fat ass down the road.
Yeah.
I was so crazy, bro. The gym, I would run to the gym. And I'm in Tennessee too. You gotta remember, here it's probably that's not like you're running like down the fucking highway, bro.
Yeah.
I'm out here, my fat ass is in a trash bag.
You can't like walk around.
It's not
down
walk
south.
Yeah. So I'm running to the gym. I couldn't even run a half mile, dude. I would run a half mile. My ankles felt like I'd sprained them.
Yeah.
And I just kept doing it. I'd run, I'd stop. And I knew, I had been in shape before my life. So I knew how to work out. But I was running to the gym. I'd work out every day. I was eating like 1,000 calories a day.
Oh, shit.
Like I lost like 40, 50 pounds in like 4 months.
Yeah, you did.
But a lot of it was water weight and like, just being a fat fuck ain't hard to lose weight. Yeah. But I cut down a lot of it. And then really since then, I've just been like on more of a normal style.
You keto now, because we talked about it.
Yeah.
You said it was keto.
Yeah,
and we was talking about keto. How's that been?
I've lost, since I've done keto, I've lost like 7 pounds.
Yeah, congratulations.
In like 3 weeks. So it's like right good. It's a little on the high end.
Yeah, some of it's water, because when you cut carbs, you immediately lose a lot of water, right?
Exactly.
Some of it's water. Right?
I've been doing it right though. I didn't get the keto food because I was using a lot of electrolytes, making sure I got all my potassium, all my magnesium, sodium.
You tracking your calories, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, because I remember we were talking about it. I was like, make sure you get, because I never got the motherfucking keto flu because I fucking track a lot of times people don't eat enough calories.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm only like 1,500.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because you're not hungry.
I'm starving.
Oh, really?
I'm fucking
really,
bro. Listen, earlier I went to Casa Tua. I had a fucking 14-ounce New York strip. I was like, fuck it, I want to eat 3 of these fucking things right now. Man. I love eating.
But the electrolytes are really helping you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the one thing. We didn't have when I first started keto, it wasn't no LMNT or none of that shit. So I would just put salt in some water or drink some fucking chicken broth when I felt like wheezy or something.
The chicken bone broth, the shit is like, OD. Yeah. That's the play. Like, but man, by the way, that fucking ketone aid shit, you got me.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
That shit is like fucking crack, bro.
Yeah, in a good way, right?
Yeah. Like Adderall.
Come on, man. Let's go,
bro. I drank that. It was crazy. I drank that. I was on like an empty stomach.
Yeah, that's when it really works on empty stomach.
Like and like fasted probably about 16 hours.
Yeah.
And I remembered I'd ordered them, and I was like, I'm gonna drink one of these before I work. I drank it, and I kind of forgot. I drank some coffee too.
Yeah. Oh, with the caffeine.
Like, yeah, and theanine.
Yeah.
Theanine's like a good stack with the caffeine too. It kind of like makes you. But dude, I was fucking locked in. I felt like I was on Limitless.
Bro, that's how it feels, man. The ketone aid, the shit tastes like fucking garbage, right?
Yes, you said gorilla piss. I was like, I see where you got that from.
Yeah. But if you mix it with when I mix it with the LMNT, it's more palatable.
Yeah,
it's still, but you feel that energy.
Yeah, man. You know? No, it was crucial, man. But it was wild.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, it's been good, man. Like I like, for example, I'm gonna go out to eat tonight at Osaka.
Okay,
and I'm gonna eat just straight steak. It's easy to say keto here.
It's easy, bro.
Back home, you can't even eat out, but it's fine. I don't really eat out.
I don't know, man. I go down south,
you can.
You just got to go to steakhouse. You know,
right.
Longhorn Steakhouse.
That's what I'm saying.
Some shit.
That's what I'm saying. You
like
can, but it's like you know.
Or like barbecue places.
Yeah, barbecue is
if
really
you don't,
good.
if you don't get
sauce,
don't get like the sauce.
Yeah.
Or in this so like I'll order Uber Eats when I'm down south because my son lives in Georgia, right? So I'm there all the time, and I just order barbecue. You know what I'm saying? Don't put no sauce on my ribs. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so you can make it happen. Here, I've just been eating straight steak, avocado, eggs.
That's the shit.
That's it. Man.
What made you go keto?
Honestly, because I hit a plateau, and like I got to like this area, I was like 195, and I just like, bro, I was eating like 1,300 calories a day sometimes, and I wasn't losing much weight. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was like, I think also too, the other big shift I made, and this is like kind of nasty, but I started just boiling chicken instead of like, I know, right?
Yeah.
Instead of eating butter or anything on it.
Oh wow, gross.
It's disgusting. I mean, it's not. It's actually. I just douse that shit with sriracha. Like my meals will be like, I'll do like 150 grams of boiled chicken, sriracha, 100 grams of spinach, 100 grams of rice cauliflower. I shit you not. I ate that shit like 4 or 5 times.
You're
a day
the only
sometimes.
white person here. Y'all can't see. He's the only white person here. Everybody's like, you just see everyone's face. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, that's a white people shit. Oh, the boiled chicken. That's the whitest shit you ever seen, bro.
That's the whitest shit I ever heard.
No, man. But dude, look, I'm telling you, it works, man. It works. Because like I realized too, I felt, and it is my head maybe, but I was like, there's no fucking way I'm tracking my calories right because there's got to be some extra shit in the oil because I was eating so little. But I realized now what it really was is probably I just hit my metabolism slowed down. So now I've gotten better at like doing some refeeding days, but still staying in keto. You know what I mean? And just focus on getting proteins. But even then, I'll still get like, so I'll do like 1,400, 1,500 calories and I'll get like 180, 190 grams of protein. Yeah. Because a boiled chicken, bro, it's like, it's like fucking dog food, bro. You're like fucking eating for fuel. It's like you're like for performance or some shit, bro.
How do you feel on being on keto?
I feel fucking amazing.
Is it better than when you were doing like
absolutely? I feel lighter. Like the best way to put it, like mentally, physically. Like I wake up and I feel like I can move differently. Yeah. Like when I run, like for example, bro, when I'm running now, which I don't really run a lot. Like when I do sprints. Okay. Bro, it's like I feel just way more like lean and ready to like move. Like, you know what I mean? Like less inflammation. I know exactly what you mean. Less inflammation. Yeah. Like the inflammation's a big part too. That's another thing. Yeah. Because I had some crazy injuries. So I fell off of a 30-foot balcony and broke my femur. Oh shit. So like I'll have some crazy, if I eat the wrong foods or if I like sleep the wrong way or like do certain workouts, I'll have like crazy inflammation. But doing keto, I've noticed way less. I'm saying, man. Yeah. You know, you said you've been doing it for how long? This makes almost a month. Make us all a month. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Have you how many colds do you get a year on that? Colds? I never get sick, bro. Yeah, me neither. I never get sick. I haven't got sick. Listen, bro, I swear to God, I don't know the last time I got sick. I got COVID every time because my fiance got it whenever, but I literally tested for it and I was just like, listen, I have some funny beliefs. I guarantee you probably think the same way. I'm like, man, half the time people say they're sick. I'm like, you're just bullshit, bro. I don't know. I mean, I'm like, I don't even believe it. Like, I'm like, I don't know. I'm a big thing of like what you believe is your reality. Like if you think you're somebody who's like susceptible to getting sick, you're probably going to get sick more than most people. For sure. Like I just don't believe in that. For sure. I haven't been sick in 8 years. Yeah. But there's studies that show that the ketogenic diet improves your immune system. Oh yeah. It improves a lot of shit too. That was the thing. The reason I did it really, because I was already doing it for weight loss, but now the reason that I want to stay on it is more because like the show with my dad.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because like he's not like you know, he got diagnosed with dementia. It's very early.
Yeah.
Like he's fine.
Oh,
right now.
Yeah.
But like, you know, the doctor, he has a good doctor too.
Yeah.
He's like, look, I could give you a bunch of drugs, but instead, what I recommend is you do the ketogenic diet and take NAD plus and NMN. And there's like a resveratrol. And so there's a couple stacks. But anyways,
I think you should share this with the people.
Stacks.
Didn't the doctor tell what else did the
Oh yeah,
tell
that's
you?
right. That's right.
This
He said that was the craziest shit. He was like, yeah, there's some really good people you could learn from, and he listed you. He's like, you know, King Keto, and I was like, but then it was funny too because I was like, oh yeah, that's my boy, and he was like, King Keto is your boy, and I was like, yeah. He was like, it's like you. He was like, okay, yeah. He's like, this is a fucking lie because like, you know, he just seen you on YouTube, and I was like, I didn't really say anything.
Shout out to the doctor though.
But he was with it, bro, because he's this like older Japanese dude, which, you know, most doctors are gonna put you on like all sorts of fucked up shit.
Yeah.
He was like, you know, do keto. I could give you a bunch of shit, but like I recommend you do keto instead.
Yeah, bro. I started doing keto because I was already in good shape. Like, it's not even for body composition reasons. My cholesterol is kind of high. It runs in my family, right?
Yeah.
Genetic predisposition. And they prescribed me statin medications, and I was like, man, fuck this shit. You know, I don't want to be on this shit forever, right? And I had read some studies about how for some people keto can really help normalize cholesterol levels. Right?
Absolutely.
And then I did that shit for a month instead of the drugs. I went back, and he's like, yo, your shit is perfect now. And I was like, he's like, you take the drugs? I'm like, nah. You know, I just did keto, but then I felt better, like the cognitive benefits, the energy. And I was like, I'm just keep doing this shit, you know?
Yeah, man. Nah, it's the move for sure. I mean, I just feel like it just feels more natural, bro.
It was invented by doctors in 1920.
Yeah, it was like a spinoff of the Atkins, right?
No. It was invented
Caesar's.
Epilepsy.
That's right.
Because the drugs for epilepsy were harsh, and it was too harsh to give kids. So, but they developed the ketogenic diet, and it cured their epilepsy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And
the kids probably got ripped too.
Yeah.
Kids got fucking shredded.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah, bro.
I've been sick in 8 years. My girl had COVID 3 times.
Yeah.
Right. You know, she eat carbs. It's cool. Whatever. You know, we still love her.
Yeah.
You know, it's no big deal. And and she had COVID 3 times, man. I ain't take no precautions. I'm kissing her in the mouth, eating off her plate, having unprotected sex, all the shit, you know. And like, no, the only time I tested positive, I didn't have no symptoms. But I did test positive because my son had it. And he sneezed in my mouth.
Oh man, yeah, you're getting.
We were laughing about something, and then he sneezed right in my mouth. And then his mom tested him for COVID, and she said, "Oh, he's got COVID," you know. And then I tested myself. Oh, I'm tested positive, but I had no symptoms.
Yeah, same here. I tested positive 2 times, but I didn't have any symptoms.
Yeah,
man,
for sure, man.
Hell
Listen, we run out of time. Where can people find out more about you, bro?
Casper SMC on YouTube. If you want to, I always say like this: if you want to just like kind of see my digital whatever, go to Instagram. If you want to learn how to trade, go to YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, I think we
actually
put
it in Instagram. Oh, it's in the description.
There's another super chat. Was there, or am I tripping?
Oh, he wants to hear the strategy, bro. He wants the sauce.
You know, like it feels fucking lame spending my weird ass strategy in front of you. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I think it's like, I mean, at the end of the day, simple is better. Like everybody.
So my rules, like, so I don't keep this chart up, right? You know what I'm saying? I have I'm just showing them this. I have the chart from Ninja Trader, right? So I keep 2 charts up. I keep the 2 minute up and the 15. And the rule is if I'm going long, they both have to be over the 200. If I'm going short, they both have to be underneath. And if they're in between, I won't do it. Right? I just feel like for me, it's a confirmation.
It's mechanical.
Yeah.
It's very if then.
Yeah.
You don't have to mentally argue with yourself whether it's happening.
And then so if I know where the trend is either long or short, then I just go for bounces off this one of these moving averages. So like for right here, like this is where I would win long. You know right. You know, and then the other rule is I keep the RSI 2 up, and like for example, I want to see this one oversold. I want to see that candle oversold before I go long as well. Right. So I'm looking for like a few different confirmations.
Yeah, it's just different things pointing to the same thing.
Yeah, and that's but if it's too far away from the 200 on the 15, then I stay away from it. because I don't know what's gonna happen. Because I just noticed in all of my, I remember I did 200 hours of paper trading first, and I just noticed when it gets super far away from the 200, that's when you see like wild shit happen. Like this may not just be a bounce off it might just fucking plummet there. I feel like it's more likely in my experience.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. And then once you figure those things out and you have conviction in them, you easily will stick to that because you believe in it. Yeah. That's the most important thing.
Yeah. So it's really just following those rules. I gotta make sure everything lines up. And then the hardest part is waiting for those exact circumstances.
Absolutely. Yeah. It always is.
Because there's some shit like one or two of the things might be there. And I was like, it feels right. But what was super important for me is to never take that trade. Like I'd be proud of myself if I don't take it, even if it would have been profitable. Yeah. Like I don't take it just because I don't want to train myself to break my rules.
Yeah, you can't reward it.
Yeah, I don't want to reward myself for breaking my rules. I'd rather,
Hell yeah, bro. Well, dude. Man, I appreciate you having me on, bro.
Hey, man, my pleasure, man. Yeah, I'm glad we got to talk about. I'm glad you sharing all a lot of the sauce.
Hell yeah,
and
bro.
talking about your life story. It's a good story.
It is a crazy one.
It's a good story.
Yeah, man.
Guys, before we get up out of here, again, I'm doing the training with the homie Moneyberg, my boy Derek Moneyberg, on investing, not trading, but investing in the stock market, investing in real estate, and building business. Moneyberg's my richest friend, And I'm flying to Chicago. We're doing it live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You do not want to miss it. It's the first link in the description. Check that out. Also, make sure you follow the homie Casper or Jesse, whatever. On
Casper is on the social media.
For sure. And we do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. See you on Tuesday.